5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to episode 257 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Today's topic is going to be our makeup, I guess, from last week. We didn't. Our episode took so long, we didn't end up getting to talk about what we played. I know I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. I'm pretty sure Will had a lot of stuff he wanted to talk about. So we're gonna do that as a main segment today. In addition to our usual nibble bits and our weeks and feedback. So should be a little bit shorter. Also, me and Corey will be covering the last two episodes of Game of Thrones at the end of the episode, right, Corey?
That's right.
So we'll get caught up on that, and but that'll be after the outro as usual.
The Battle of the Bastards.
The Battle of the Bastards, and no one was that the other one?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that one's wasn't as fun as last week. So does anyone have anything they want to tease for later on in the episode?
Nope.
Nothing. The only thing I have to talk about specifically is more Hearts of Iron 4. That's a recent release. I think me and Corey were going to talk about that a little bit. So I wanted to talk about it last week, but as I said, our episode ran super long and we didn't get the chance. So be talking about that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Will, we'll start with you. What do you got? What do you got to talk about?
Oh, so much, Dan. Hold on. So what do you guys want to hear about first? You want to hear about Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, let's talk about Ratchet and Clank.
Well, I beat it.
Hey, well done.
This reminds me, are we doing a beaten games list this year?
Yeah, I'm taking them down.
Okay, good.
I'd like to formally withdraw my name from the competition.
All
I'm still
right.
gonna keep track of your beaten games.
All right.
Not really competition. It's more for keeping track purposes. But I only say that because I've lost the past few years. So
I'm a winner.
So Ratchet and Clank.
Welcome to the Winners Club, Will.
Oh, thanks, Corey.
That sock in front of your face would argue otherwise, Will.
Yeah, it makes you look like a real loser.
This was Corey's idea, so.
Anyway, Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and
How'd you
Clank
like
is
it?
It's awesome. I kind of feel like when we started this podcast, I made fun of Ratchet and Clank.
I'm sure I did.
I think you and I both did. Turns out that game is actually really awesome. Every minute of it was fun, and I didn't want it to end, really. I wanted to keep playing, and just like every part of it was fun. Even like the races that you did on the hoverboards were a ton of fun. It just like, and all the weapons, like the Groovatron. Just like firing it out there, and like even bosses start dancing, and that gives me like a couple seconds to start firing on them and stuff like that.
I was surprised the bosses danced, but I was also so happy that they made it so that all the guns worked on the bosses.
Yep, instead of like only a couple working on a boss.
Yeah.
And that last boss fight was pretty hectic. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I just like trying to fly around from platform to platform and trying to like shoot it and destroy the who I don't even remember who it was, like Dr. Nefarious maybe.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Some giant robot, but it was a ton of fun, and like I'm really looking forward to see what they do next with Ratchet and Clank.
I'm hoping that they're gonna remaster the rest of them.
Is Ratchet and Clank difficult?
No.
Just fun.
Does it have difficulty levels? Like, can you make it harder if you want to?
To be honest with you, I don't even know.
I don't know either, Dan. I tend to not even look, and I just play it on whatever the default difficulty is.
Yeah, that's usually what I do to start, especially.
But I really liked doing the Groovatron, Eric, and then firing that atom particulator weapon or whatever, where it sent out the pulse and like it started damaging everybody in the area. On top of shooting the one weapon that launches a bunch of tiny balls around.
Yep.
So everyone's grooving and taking damage over time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. And I love the pixel gun, too.
Yep, the pixelator was awesome. Just turning, like, giant enemies into tiny little pixels. Like, was so cool.
I used to like shooting, like, little... For some reason, there's sheep, right?
Yep.
I used to like turning those into pixels a lot.
Yeah.
For some reason. But yeah, the guns were my favorite part of the game, just seeing what all the different guns did and making big old stupid octopuses dance around. It was hilarious.
I forgot about the giant octopus things.
Oh, yeah.
collecting all the brains on that one planet.
Yep. It's just a fun, goofy game. Like, and I don't know. It's the most fun I've had playing a game in quite a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because you're not really worried about the story. You're not, it's not crazy gameplay. It's just you turn it on and it's just fun.
Yeah, and you're just destroying everything, and like it's so rewarding when you take out an entire room and all the bolts are laying around, and like you collect like 4,000 bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like just upgrading your favorite weapons. There's just so much to it that is awesome, and like I really cannot wait to see what they do with Ratchet and Clank in the future. And as Eric said, hopefully that they remaster the other, I don't know, 2-3 games.
I don't know how many there are. This is the first one I've ever played.
Same.
So
I think there might be 3 main entries and then like probably some PSP,
okay,
Vita ones.
The thing I remember the most about Ratchet and Clank was the commercials they had for, I think, the PS3 one. Do you guys remember those? It was people that were using the Ratchet and Clank guns in real life. Like one was like a gravity gun, and they shot it at a trailer, and it brought the trailer like tumbling towards them.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
Really?
neat. Yeah, it was when they first started doing like live action type of stuff. It was really cool.
Huh.
But that's what I remember. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game, but that's what I remember most about.
Oh man, Dan, I hope you get a chance to play this one because I honestly, it's like I said, the most fun I've had playing a video game. Just like pure fun. No frustrations, because I could argue Rocket League is the most fun I've had, but there's also frustrations in there.
Yes,
I wasn't frustrated at all playing Ratchet and Clank. Like, it's an easy playthrough, just so much fun, and it was just perfect timing when I played it. So that's what I was looking for.
Nice.
It's one of those things where like it's got a little bit of humor to it too, on top of like the planets that you visit, the different ones, and just like how different the environments are and how like just beautiful the graphics are, because this is one of the better looking games that I've played too.
Oh, it's so good looking.
It's just
looks like a Pixar film.
So yeah, Ratchet and Clank, awesome game, and I had a ton of fun with it, and I beat it in probably 3 or 4 sittings, and I want to go and play more of it.
That's what I did too, Will.
Which is the best way to play it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it just the time just flies when you're playing it. You know?
Exactly. I played it for like 4 hours in a day, and it felt like maybe like 20 minutes.
Because it just never feels like a chore, ever.
Exactly.
Is it one of those games where you kind of feel overpowered, but overpowered in a good way? Like you can just...
It's not like in a Saints Row kind of way,
right?
Where you have these crazy powers. But yeah, I wouldn't say you ever feel like you're in danger, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more about experimenting with different weapons and like using them in tandem.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I guess you're a touch overpowered, but nothing crazy, I guess.
Sometimes that's fun, just being crazy overpowered as compared to everything else. Then you can experiment.
I would say like with the smaller enemies in the world, you're probably way overpowered because you just kind of blow through them.
Right.
But like when you get to the bigger enemies and the bosses, there is a little bit of a challenge there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when they have like multiple ships dropping enemies and attacking you at once with turrets, like that can get challenging. But like I said, I just tossed the Groovitron in, and then the atom particulator thing, which zapped them from energy, and then I launched the bouncing ball like that multiplied by like 8. Just cleaned house. But yeah, so Ratchet and Clank was awesome. I started NBA 2K16 because it's free.
Oh, you did?
The story mode.
Oh god, how bad is it?
It's pretty bad. It's just like I'm being interviewed and they're talking about like my friend from like the hood when you grew up, like causing issues with your career, and you're like, I just want to like play basketball. I don't want this story about my childhood friend.
Yeah,
Will just wants to hoop.
Yeah, I just want to go beat the Cavs. I don't want to interview about my friend who just got shot and killed.
you have to exercise that part of your life.
Exercise the demons.
I mean, I guess.
Come on, Will. That was directed by a AAA Hollywood director, and you're saying it's not very good.
Spike Lee joint.
Spike Lee should not. There should not be a story in my sports games.
Agreed.
I just kind of want to be a pro or whatever it's called in the NBA game and just play basketball. I don't mind the interviews too. Like I liked when they just had like interviews like where they're talking about the game and the contract negotiations and stuff like that. But I don't want to talk about like my friend who just died. Like
Do you choose what you say in these interviews?
Yeah.
Does it affect anything?
Just what people think of you.
Does that affect anything?
Probably
Jersey
not.
sales?
I don't really know what that
Who
affects.
did you get drafted by, Will?
I got drafted by the Pelicans.
The Pelican, the worst sports name ever.
Yeah. Where are they from?
New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
how
doesn't
I know
even
that.
flow. New Orleans.
No, it's terrible.
Pelicans?
The Hornets were a way better team name.
Yeah.
How'd they get that name?
I think it was an old NBA team name.
There's probably pelicans in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, how's the game though? Other
mean,
than the shitty story,
The game's actually a lot of fun. Like
they
basketball
always get well reviewed.
Yeah, basketball games are always like really solid with gameplay, and they're a ton of fun to play. Like
Well, let's not say basketball games in general, because NBA Live is supposed to be pretty bad.
NBA 2K games
Okay.
are always really awesome and a ton of fun to play. Even like when you're doing your Be a Pro character, it just translates so well to playing basketball. Because like playing one guy like doesn't really get boring in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like it's another one of those games that's fun to play against your friends and stuff like that.
I have an answer to my Pelicans question if anybody cares.
I do.
I do.
It was inspired by Louisiana's state bird, the brown pelican, and also that name was previously used by a minor league baseball team that played in New Orleans from 1901 to 1957.
Nice.
Wow.
There
Cool.
you go.
So the Pelicans, the state bird of Louisiana.
There was a former minor league hockey team called the Macon Whoopie.
Were they
That's
from
pretty great.
Macon,
Macon,
Georgia?
Macon. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a team that's self-aware.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, there's not a lot to talk about with NBA. I just find the story like I don't know, weird.
I installed it. I just haven't played it yet.
I mean, it's the first like $60 game that they put on for free.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good month for the free games on both consoles, actually.
And I think the only reason they did it was because of the NBA Finals. And just like, why not?
Maybe.
I always like basketball games.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
really
played a recent one, but I always enjoyed them like back in the day.
it's really one of the only times I enjoy basketball.
Well, yeah. Well, I like college basketball.
Yeah, college basketball is pretty good, and I watched a little bit of the NBA Finals just because I don't like Cleveland at all.
I turned the Game 7 on for 10 minutes until I fell asleep.
I actually watched a lot of Game 7, actually.
Was the Cavs upset a big deal?
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
were down 3-1 in the series, and
nice.
Game 7 was at Golden State.
Wow.
And then Golden State set the record for most wins in a season, right?
Yeah.
Best record ever.
So it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Good for them. Everybody
It was
got a
like-
free taco out of the deal.
It was kind of like the undefeated Patriots losing to the
Well,
Giants in the.
Plus,
It kind of ruins your legacy a little bit.
the only difference there, Dan, is that Cleveland is notorious for being a shitty sports city.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I mean, they're the only city I have ever said that was up there with Buffalo as a sports city, and now Buffalo stands alone as shittiest sports town.
Mm.
There's two things with that. It's funny because the Lake Erie Monsters, who are the AHL team, play like in the Cleveland area. They just won the Calder Cup.
Oh, wow.
So like they won a championship, and then like Cleveland won one. Which Cleveland Cavaliers winning the NBA like championship is a way bigger deal, obviously.
yeah.
Because
The Browns will never win anything.
Fuck no.
no, not at all.
I'll kill myself if the Browns win the Super Bowl before the Bills do.
Yeah, because the Browns even moved for a few years. Like they weren't even a team for a while. Then they came back.
I'd say the Bills are closer.
I believe
Closer to winning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Eric, I believe you said that the only sports team that you feel worse for is Cleveland.
The Browns specifically. But yeah,
Cleveland.
the city of Cleveland was the only one that I felt like could actually have a gripe, is to claim their city as the most starved city for a sports championship. Over Buffalo, but that is no longer the case.
Nope, now it's just Buffalo.
Mm.
So yeah, that's NBA 2K16. Next,
Did you play Doom?
I didn't play any more Doom yet.
Damn it.
I played the first level,
Oh, you did.
the demo.
What'd you think, Dan?
It was good. It was fast. It was fun. Yeah. Violent. I enjoyed it.
That's what I need. That's my next game.
It's there was actually more to it than I thought. Like there is some gear stuff and some upgrading that you do to your guy, which surprised me. But I like that sort of stuff. So, but it's very well crafted. It's a very very smooth play, which is nice. It's no jank or anything like that. Very very polished experience from. I think the first I played the first level, the demo, it's like half an hour worth. So I didn't experience a huge amount of it, but yeah, it was definitely fun.
Cool. That's the next game I'm going to play after I beat the one I'm currently playing.
Mm-hmm. Corey, did you ever end up finding the Doom demo?
I didn't look after E3.
Yeah.
I'd given up.
Well, as I said, I found it on accident. I had forgotten immediately after they announced that they were going to have it because I wanted to download and play it. Completely forgot. Found it on accident and downloaded it, and then forgot I had downloaded it and realized that I had downloaded it a few days later, and that's when I played it. I was like, oh,
well, you
know, I was hammer this out real quick.
Well, I can do Steam Family Share now.
It's gone. I deleted it. I don't know if it's still like in my library or whatever, but
Family Share free demo.
It. Yeah, you might be able to find it somewhere.
How pathetic is that?
I couldn't find it in the store. I'll just play dance.
I know they extended the length of it. I didn't see how long, but they did extend the amount of time.
Oh, that's good. That was my complaint.
Yeah, because it was initially only supposed to be out for like a week, right?
Oh, you mean the availability length?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the length of the demo.
No, it's enough to give you a good feel for what the game's going to be about.
Okay.
I have no idea what was going on in the story, but I don't think the story's important.
Yeah,
no.
Doesn't matter.
It's just some guy talking.
It's just about blowing up demons on Mars.
Oh, is that where you are, Mars?
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
That's where it starts anyway. Yeah, I don't know where it goes after there.
I'll tell you where it goes, Dan.
Straight to hell.
Yep. Hell. HE double hockey sticks.
Okay. What else you got, Will?
I've been playing a lot of Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Just working my way slowly through that. I never really played this game a lot, but Spyro 2 is pretty awesome. It does a lot of little things better than the first one. You know how when you played the first one, like after you save the dragons, there's like nothing really going on in the world besides enemies?
Sure.
What I like about the second one is it has allies out there that kind of have you do mini games that are on the map to gain the orbs. Like one of them on a map was play a hockey game.
Wow.
Which was pretty awesome to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you might remember that.
I remember that.
On the one planet or not the one world with the ice surface on it.
Yeah. Peaceful hockey.
Yeah. And they had you play a game against somebody. Just stuff like that. And like as I said, the only gripe that I have with these games is the camera isn't great because it was in 1997, 6 maybe that the game came out. So like that's not great, but overall the game holds up gameplay wise. I think it's a ton of fun to still play and something that you can go back to.
I'm watching it in the stream. Man, video games have come a long way.
They really have.
I keep hoping those come to Steam. I would buy those in a heartbeat. I loved those games back in the day.
Dan, they made me buy a PlayStation 3 so I can play them again.
Yeah.
You're a nutcase.
Just loan that to Dan when you're done.
Yeah, I easily can.
Work.
Because I own all 3 Spyros, Final Fantasy 6, and Tactics on it, so...
Dan, did you ever play Last of Us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep wanting to have one of these weeks after the episode. I want to have a spoiler discussion about it.
Oh yeah.
Get into depth.
Love to.
Yeah, that was the game that ruined console gaming for Dan.
No, it wasn't. It was mostly Destiny.
I thought the frames per second lock on the Last of Us made you.
No, it was the remaster was unlocked, but it ran like 60 in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, and I thought after you did that, you couldn't go back to 30.
No, it was a PC game that did that.
Oh.
And Destiny ran at 30, and I hated the frame rate. No, the frame rate, the frame rate and stuff in Last of Us was really good. It would dip occasionally, but
Yeah.
maybe you're right. Maybe that'd be because that played so smoothly, and then I played like Destiny shortly after.
I would bet money on that. That was the reasoning.
It was like playing a slideshow, a game on a slideshow.
Dan, the frame rate queen.
Yeah.
I know. Every time I just think to myself, how does he see it?
Right, it's the trained eye.
I must be too stupid to notice it.
It feels a
too.
little bit different too.
I mean, I notice it. It just never bothers me.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
It only bothers me when it happens in Rocket League.
Right.
I only get bothered when it drops below 30. 'Cause that's when I notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe our stupid eyes are only capable of seeing 30 frames per second.
Maybe.
Shut up, Corey. That's a lot of people like when that first became a controversy. A lot of people are like, oh, the human eye can't see more than 30 frames per second.
Yeah, that's not true.
No, it's not.
Wasn't it? Didn't somebody actually prove how fast your eye can see?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of different for everyone, but you can I can tell when my games drop like 5 or 6 frames per second. Like
Really?
Yeah. Especially when you're playing on a computer monitor and your face is like literally a foot from the screen or 2 feet from the screen. It's a lot easier to tell. When you're sitting like 10 or 12 feet back, it's not as easy to see.
Here you go. The human eye can interpret up to about 150 frames per second, and the human brain can interpret up to 1,000 frames per second.
There you go.
Wow.
So I imagine it's some sort of weird scientific combination of the two
Yeah.
that I couldn't explain to you right now.
Okay. So yeah, you can notice all higher frames.
Yeah. Some people are sensitive to it. Some people aren't.
And the final one that I played that I want to talk a little bit about is Valkyria Chronicles. I've played maybe 3-4 hours of that so far.
Nice.
But boy, do I love that game.
Yeah, that game's awesome.
It's so much fun. I just got to the point where, this is going to be a brief spoiler, but I'm only on chapter 4, where the two characters, Largo and I think Rosie, you find out they don't really like your main character at all. Because it was right after the interview, after you recaptured the bridge
Yeah.
in that town. There's just like so much to that game. Like, I didn't realize when I started that you can do like skirmishes and stuff like that and grind EXP. And like you can go to the recruit office and like get different characters like whenever you want. I don't know like if the names are all the same across every game, or if they're like generated by
No, I think they're the same.
the same.
Are you playing the remastered one, Will?
Yeah, on PS4.
Nice.
I sort of decided that I didn't want to sit at a computer to play that game because it's long. It's like 30 hours, right?
I don't recall.
I don't believe so.
I think maybe it's 20 plus. I remember.
Yeah, I want to say like 24 for whatever reason.
Eval.
I got it, Will.
You got it. But yeah, I am loving that game so far.
30 hours.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, you said you had problems later in the game, right?
Yeah, there's one specific mission that if you don't know like a twist is coming in the battle, like it's impossible to win. You kind of have to set up your strategy and stuff for before this twist happens, like partway through the battle,
Yeah.
in order to win it.
Does it
Janky.
involve tanks and stuff?
Yeah.
Tanks are tough.
You got to get a little bit lucky.
You either have to be lucky or you have to know ahead of time what happens like mid battle that changes the momentum, I guess.
Mhm.
So
I'll say it right now. Man, I love Valkyria Chronicles a lot more than XCOM 2.
Yeah. I honestly, I
did
think
like XCOM 2, but shut up, Corey.
Sorry.
No,
Got to get my jabs in.
I was gonna say Valkyria Chronicles kind of has potential to be up there with series that I love.
Yeah.
I kind of think they're really underrated so far, just from what I've played.
They're coming out with another one pretty soon.
Yeah, like the
It's called
Azure Revolution.
Azure Revolution.
Well, do
I-
you have a Vita, Will?
I do.
Get the Vita one.
I think I will get 2, and I think 3. Right? There's 2 more.
I think you're right. I'm curious. I've always wanted to play those. I just never had a Vita.
Yeah, and like depending on how much I love this one, it's one of these things that I just want to keep playing because the combat system for like a JRPG is surprisingly really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun, really strategic.
Yeah.
too.
'Cause, like I was using a sniper, and you know the shock troopers and how like they can really mess you up if you don't plan
Yeah.
for them right. So like I just kind of have my sniper hang back and pick off the shock troopers from afar because like one headshot will kill them.
Yeah.
So like I've been doing that, and then I've been sending my scouts like Alicia around, and I forgot the names of the other ones. My shock troopers just kind of charge in there to take out the other scouts and stuff like that.
Did you run into any jank? I seem to remember a little bit of jank here and there with movement.
Yeah, the battle that I just did, an enemy scout kept jumping back and forth over a sandbag
Yeah.
repeatedly, like an idiot.
Yeah, some
Um,
weird stuff happens.
Then I just blew him up with the tank
Attaboy.
because the tank, like killing with a tank, is so entertaining. I also have a feeling Welkin and Alicia love each other
Ooh.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovey-dovey.
Considering it's the 2 of them on the cover and whatnot.
Yeah, great game. The pencil-drawn art style's fantastic.
Hmm.
The setup for that, the like alternate universe World War II
Yeah.
kind of thing, it's great. It's one of those games, you know?
Yeah, because it's Europa, which is Europe, versus the Empire or whatever, which is like Germany and
Yeah.
Japan,
And you're like
Poland.
You're a small neutral nation, right?
Switzerland.
Yeah, like Switzerland. And you're just kind of like, well, yeah, because everybody in that troop is from that. Well, at least you and Alicia are from that like small country, right?
Yeah, you are kind of like Poland. You get invaded and you just get dragged into the war because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sort of what I equated it to, at least like when I started it. But yeah, I'm loving this game. I'm kind of mad that it took me so long to play it, considering I've had it on PC for like 2 years at this point. But that's really kind of all I've played. I've just been playing a lot of NHL.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Chell.
Chell. That's what we call it now, is Chell.
Yeah, that's the phrase.
Yep. That's what they call it on the Steve Dangle podcast. So ever since then, I started calling
Chell.
it Chell.
Really?
Yeah.
My girlfriend's boyfriend uses that phrase, so
Huh.
You know.
Girlfriend's boyfriend?
my girlfriend's brother.
I was gonna say you.
You?
I was going to say, because we know that you use that phrase, and you would technically be that
Chell.
person.
Chell and duty.
Chill.
I say Chell more sarcastically, like Chell, brah. Like
I
like
did
that.
I did get this same person into Rocket League though, so he calls it soccer cars, which is what I call it.
Uh-huh.
That's
What
all
it
right.
is.
Yeah, it's soccer cars.
Rocket League.
Okay.
Although I still maintain there's a fair amount of hockey in there, too. I'd prefer you called it hocker cars.
Soccer cars.
Soccer cars. I love that.
Yeah, because of the contact and the boards and stuff, the walls.
Yeah. Corner digs.
Yep.
That sounds all right.
That's it for
Okay.
me, Dan.
All right, Corey. Let's hear what you got.
I don't have much. Pretty much all I've been playing the last 3 weeks are The Witcher 3 and Rocket League. I guess we could talk The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I played a ton of The Witcher 3. A ton.
Stuffy ass game.
It's still good, but I don't know if I've just been overplaying it. Because I played it Saturday, I had the whole day to myself. The girlfriend and the dog were out of town. Or Sunday. The whole day I had. And I played most of the day, probably from like 10 a.m. to about 7 p.m. Yeah, just
Oh.
a good solid chunk of The Witcher 3.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I'm level 20 now. I finally found Dandelion after that whole
Sorry.
thing. Yeah, and now I'm on my way
Was that brutal?
to Skellige. That didn't bother me so much. It's just like the back and forth trying to find him was all right because in the meantime I was building a relationship with Triss, which was kind of fun. You know, a little flirty, Twitter-pated stuff. You know, kissy stuff.
Yeah.
So that made it all right. But I see what you mean, Eric, and I started to get annoyed with all the running around. And and a lot of times I felt like the only reason quests made you go from point A to point B was to extend the length of the quest.
Well, yeah, that's what it felt like to me, and there was just no need for it. And like, coming off of the best quest of all time that I've ever played with the Bloody Baron and all that, and the crones, like it was just such a drop off from that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think you're right so far. But I haven't done the Skellige stuff, so maybe it picks up again there. But the Novigrad stuff was just, it was kind of a slog.
I'm going to get back to it.
Yeah.
I absolutely, that's, I got a little plan set up. I'm going to finish Uncharted, then Doom, and then I'm going to go back to The Witcher.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what the best way to play it is. Like mainlining the story stuff is kind of what I want to do, but I feel like I'll be missing out on a lot.
I was just gonna say that, because when I played it before, like I played up until the end of Novigrad, like doing everything like I like to do in a game, but it turns out I didn't do everything. I actually missed a lot of the side missions and even like the Witcher contracts.
Yeah.
And I'm in Skellige now. That's where I am in the story. And I feel like I missed most of the Skellige stuff, so a lot of that's gonna all be new to me. And a lot of the stuff I've already done is new and pretty cool.
Yeah,
Skellige is a neat place.
It is. I actually have been there for a earlier quest that I followed through on. So I've been to Skellige. I swam there. It was a long swim.
Really?
From one of the islands.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, that's how I got there.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure. Or I got on a boat, maybe. Yeah, I got on a boat because then when I was out in the middle I was out in the middle in my little Wind Waker sailboat, and I got attacked by 3 griffins, the flying things.
Yeah, and then you had to swim the rest of the way when the boat sank.
Well, the boat didn't sink, but because the controls are so clunky, trying to fight 3 griffins just with one little boat to stand on to do all my stuff made it extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
Because I kept falling in the water, and you can't do jack in the water. You can shoot your crossbow. But
you're underwater.
Yeah, I don't know if you can shoot from the water up into the air.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't.
Yeah.
You have to be on the boat for that.
Fortunately, I leveled up my Axii skill quite a bit, which is the mind control one. So I was able to mind control one of them, and I eventually got through it. But I'm also over-leveled because I'm doing a lot of the quests, so very few things are difficult. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to leave behind some of those earlier quests because I don't want to miss out on them.
There's a new setting you can have the enemies scale to you.
Oh, really?
They just added that in a recent patch.
Oh my gosh, I would be doing that all along. Make it a lot more fun. It's not fun when there's no challenge.
I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I kind of especially
Really?
like when you're coming across like a handful of drowners on the coast.
It makes
it
makes combat
I just like to cut through all those.
It makes combat like trivial, like just jam the X button.
Yeah,
and then
but
everybody's
Corey,
dead.
do you remember how shitty the combat is in that game?
I think it's pretty good.
Do you really?
When it's difficult, yeah.
Ugh.
When you're actually timing parries and using a combination of your signs and having to use your alchemy, all your potions and stuff. Like that's a whole system in the game that I feel like I'm missing out on because everything's too easy.
Yeah, try that.
I wasn't really interested in all that. I was more interested in the story that was going on until I got to the dandelion part.
Yeah.
I think they have a setting for the game that you can just have most of the game just be story stuff. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's an option at the very beginning for difficulty. Like, so you just, I don't know, maybe they cut down on the amount of enemies you fight. Because I restarted when I started playing again a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the options.
Mm. I just hope there's a payoff for all these side quests that I'm doing. Is there? You can just answer that.
Yeah, I mean, not everything has a payoff. Or some stuff's just random things that happen. But like some of them, you'll kill a monster or not kill a monster, and the effects of that will show up like later on in the game.
I'm just thinking, there's actually a side quest that I failed somehow. I don't know how, and it had to do with the 3 gang bosses.
Yeah.
Like somehow I didn't settle that bit, and it failed for me. I don't know why. But I don't know, like helping Dijkstra with his. I assume what's the conclusion of his quest line? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Having to do. I don't want to spoil it too much, but having to do with Radovid.
Yeah.
I did that, and then it just ended, and I don't. There was no payoff for that.
You have to go advance further in the story to continue the storyline.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I think I saw the Bloody Baron. I'm pretty sure I saw the Bloody Baron stuff all the way through.
Yeah.
For reasons I won't share, but I just hope there's a payoff for doing all that stuff later on in the game. Maybe there isn't, but it would be nice for them to tie all those ends together because.
Yeah, and like I said, some of them do, some of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like in real life,
Yeah.
you know, some stuff comes back to bite you. Some stuff you just never hear about again.
But every now and again, even though I've sort of been having issues with the fetch stuff going on in the quests, like there's some really great moments, like when you walk into the Rosemary and Thyme for the first time and Priscilla is performing.
Yeah.
I watched that whole thing all the way through, and it just pans around to all the people in the room doing different things.
Yep.
That was a good moment.
Yeah. Yeah, all the Skellige stuff is really cool, and that's a really interesting landscape. It's really rugged and harsh. It's Skyrim basically.
Yeah.
You know, that type of landscape, and the Skelliges, the people there are really interesting with their crazy customs and stuff. There's some awesome quest lines in there.
Yeah,
A lot of that I skipped over when I played through before. I kind of got to the point where I wanted to finish it so I could give my ultimate thoughts on the ending, rather than playing through most of the game, if not all of the game beforehand. So
yeah.
I hurried through, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's nothing else really I want to be playing right now, so I'm just kind of taking my time with it and doing whatever. But one of the issues I had early on with the Velen stuff is I felt like all that stuff was scattered, like as a place. The Velen area, everything seemed so similar because it was so sprawling, and there was just little town that looked the same as another little town that looked the same as another little town. Very little difference there. But then, like, Novigrad's the complete opposite. It's one big city, and that all feels the same, like running around in the city, up until you get to, like, Temple Island, which I've only been to once. So I don't know. But the Skellige, the one time I had been there, it felt kind of had, like, that Skyrim feel of each place having a unique personality to it. You know, like the architecture in the different Skyrim cities is all distinct in between each city. It doesn't feel the same.
Well, that's the case a little bit, but a lot of that is because a lot of the cities are just run by different clans.
Yeah.
On the Skellige Islands.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Getting over there. I'm level 20 something now.
Yeah, I think I just hit 24 today.
I turned Hattori into a fully fledged master blacksmith or swordsmith or whatever, and then he gave me a sword which wasn't better than the one I had. So
yeah,
excuse me.
Always make sure I have the best equipment.
Well, I immediately gave it back to him to break down.
Oh, nice.
Geralt's like, "Oh, this is a fantastic blade," and then after that dialogue, I just gave it right back to him to break down into parts. Thanks, Hattori. The Witcher school gear stuff, I like doing those.
Yes,
because I feel like they take you to the most interesting places.
Yep.
Like the
all over the
ruined
place.
forts and. Oh, the one other standout moment was the masquerade.
Yeah.
Ball with Triss.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. I'd like to see the different ways that could play out.
Did you do the quest with the it starts in Novigrad with the concerned citizens pamphlets?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. That's a really interesting one too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I have to say on The Witcher 3. I still like it.
Yeah.
Just kind of part of it might be I've just been playing too much of it. You know, I get Witcher fatigue.
I don't know what that's like.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at 127 hours played on The Witcher 3.
Wow. That's a good
50,
chunk.
50 just on this playthrough so far.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing Blood and Wine. I might buy you Blood and Wine, Will. Thumbs up. All right. I don't know if you want me to talk about Rocket League, Eric. We all played
What?
Rocket League this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah.
The three of us.
The three of us.
No William.
No.
No, I didn't want to play.
Yeah, no kidding.
Will was nowhere to be found. We had our theories about where he was.
He was big leaguing us.
What are the theories?
We assumed you were out slaying Poon. At least
Yeah.
that's what we were hoping.
Interesting.
No comment. But anyway, Rocket League was. I always have a good time, even if we suck. It's still fun.
Yeah. We sucked at first.
We
Yeah.
did, Dan. You picked up the offensive game quite a bit.
Once I get the hang of the timing and stuff, especially with like air balls and stuff, I can be somewhat effective. I'm still terrible on defense.
That's all right. You were contributing on the offense.
Yeah, I can do that part of it. But like I said, it takes me like 5 or 6 games to get the hang of the timing down again.
But that's good because I'm better at defense than I am offense, so
Yeah.
it works itself out when we play.
Yeah, we ended up playing relatively well.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ended up having a winning record or not, but that's because we started, what was it,
Probably
0-6?
close.
Yeah, close.
Yeah.
One sec. It
Played for shit.
was over 2
4
hours.
Yeah.
I'll do it again this weekend.
Next weekend I can do Saturday or Friday.
Next weekend, Friday, I can do.
I can do Friday.
I can't do Saturday or Sunday because I will be at home in the village.
I'm good most nights.
Going back
so-
to the valley?
Going back to the valley, 4th of July, bruv.
Oh, that's right.
God.
Yeah.
Gonna miss that.
You want me to Periscope you in?
When is that?
Monday.
That's next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at Periscope,
Week and a half.
Eric, so
Shit. If Christy was off, I was gonna say maybe we'd just drive up. Because I'm
Really?
off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. She's working Saturday.
Oh.
7 to 7.
I'll be there Sunday. Sunday through Tuesday.
It's a long drive for a day.
Yeah,
With the puppy, too.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
it is. And especially, you don't want to be traveling back on the 4th of July.
No, and I would be.
That would suck.
Next year.
Next year. Next year, you take the Tuesday or the day after off.
Yep.
Yep. And then you can get good and lubed up. But back to Rocket League. The new season just started. Summer
Summer season.
2016. I haven't played. I've been playing all the playlists: solo, duel, the 2 3v3
Yeah.
playlists, and not all of them I'm ranked on. But my rank is very low compared to what it was at the end of last season. I don't know if that's normal or what, but I'm like prospect 2 in most of them.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Well done.
I'm not doing well either. I don't
Trying
know.
to play tonight a little bit, are you? Or?
It depends on when probably, especially if I have a beer or two. Although
Probably arrange that.
I don't recommend playing with me after a beer or two.
Corey, I don't give a shit if we win.
All right. But
fun. Play.
they added. Go ahead.
It's just fun to play.
Yeah.
They added a little post-game victory screen, and they give you like nicknames based on what you did in the game. So there was this one we played today where I just played defense the whole time because the 2 guys I was playing with seemed to have the offense covered because we scored 3 quick goals, and I'm like, I'll just sit back. And within like the first 2 minutes, the other team quit. And my tag after the game for our victory screen was bench warmer because I didn't have it. I had like 20 points or something like that because my teammates did everything.
And no saves or anything, so.
Yeah, but it's like tactician and like striker and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Depending on what you do in the match, it's a nice
Kind of
touch.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Something to freshen it up, man.
Yeah.
They just keep doing.
And right before we started, I started this podcast. I was playing duels, and I got matched up with this guy, and I had started late because I was like eating my pasta for dinner, and the match started, and I wasn't paying attention. And my teammate, I picked up the controller. My teammate had set me up for a nice goal, and I whiffed on it. And I was like, "Oh, sorry." And right away, he gives me the 3 dots.
Oh,
Which
cool.
is like, all right, yeah, okay. And then I did it again, and I missed a juicy one again for the second time. And he's like, "Wow, really?" or something like that. And I was like, "I don't know, man. I fucked up. I'm sorry." And he's like, I forget what he said, but then I'm like, "You've never fucked up?" And he's like, "Never that bad."
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. So then we managed to score 2 goals. And then he's like, in the meantime, he's like asking me these questions, like, "What was your rank last year?" And he's like, "You're an embarrassment," or something, just like mean shit. And the other team was giving this guy shit. They're like, "Dude, stop being toxic." And I scored a buzzer beater to win the game. And he's like, "Finally, you hit one of my passes."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's
and
this guy's name?
Huge.
I can't remember. I could probably pull it up. But the other team's like, "Dude, get over yourself. He just won you the game." And I was like, "Thanks, guys." And I'm like, "You are the reason this game can be no fun. I don't like you." And then he didn't say anything. Just that was the end of it. But I don't know.
Sorry you had to experience that.
It's
I don't understand why you have to take it so goddamn seriously all the time. Like
Exactly.
it's fun.
exactly.
Like if you're playing for money, that's one thing, but you're just playing, matchmaking Rocket League. Like
Yeah.
Something tells me that
Oh.
genius probably doesn't have too much money to bet with, Dan.
You're driving cars around trying to hit an oversized soccer ball into a goal. Like, how do you take it that seriously?
I don't know. It doesn't, like, what annoys me is that they think I'm annoyed.
Yeah,
By
he
it.
thinks he's getting one over on you.
Yeah, so I always try and say the most innocent thing to make them feel bad and make it sound like I don't really care what their opinion of me is. I don't know. It's hard to do. Because really, I just want to rip my monitor off the computer and throw it on the ground and
Yeah.
curse.
I usually just
Disagree
tack
with
'em
everything
back.
they say.
Yeah.
So that's the best tactic.
Or I say things like, "Sorry I ruined your day. Try to have a good one." Stuff like that. But
yeah,
whatever.
I'll never understand that mentality. I never have, and I never will.
No. It's stupid.
But anyway,
That's it. That's seriously all I've been playing the last 3 weeks. Or
okay.
Rocket League and The Witcher.
Did you want to talk about Hearts of Iron 4?
Oh,
Corey?
yeah, I did play that. I haven't played that in a while, but yeah, definitely.
I haven't played it in a little while either. So I mean, go ahead. Let's. I know you wanted to talk about it last week, but we didn't get the opportunity. So
I made a mistake by choosing Japan for my first full playthrough. And immediately I was like, I'm not going to do what happened in history. So I started focusing on an Air Force rather than a Navy. And I thought I would just do bombing raids all over, everywhere, and just wreck everybody. So that was my plan from the get-go. So I started researching all that. And I also started using my, what are they, political points? That one currency that's political currency of some sort.
Something like that.
But I started contributing that to creating a coup in the United States, a fascist, helping the fascists take over in the United States right at the get-go.
Yeah.
And before the war started, I think I had them fully converted to fascist. So they never actually joined the Allies, but I also never got to the point where I could form an alliance with them. Because the way the game is set up is you have to... I forget all the phrases of stuff. There's a tech tree, and then there's like a... It's not like a... What's the word, Dan? Not a civics tree, but like a...
I don't know what the names were, but yeah, you spend those political points to advance like your society,
right?
To give it direction.
And one of the things that does is that tree guides you down the path of what actually happened in World War II. So you're kind of hitting those notes along the way by doing certain things. You don't have to, but sometimes you need to. Like, I couldn't form a faction with fascist United States unless I declared war on China, which I didn't want to do. I had a good relationship with China, and I didn't have a lot of infantry on that border. but I ended up doing it anyway because I really wanted to start the fascist Japanese-American faction just because I thought it was fun. So I ended up declaring war on China, and they easily invaded my Eastern Asian provinces. And at that point, they had taken over enough that I really didn't stand a chance, so I just kind of quit. And part of the reason is I never got the combat down very well. I was able to build forces. I had a hard time shuttling troops. I had a ton of shuttles, but it never seemed to be enough. And I leveled up my boatyards or shipyards or whatever all the way. But even so, I could only transfer like a handful of units at a time. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal was there. Because I was pumping them out in Japan, trying to move them to that Eastern Asian provinces, but
yeah, a lot of that is not well explained too. Like it takes some tinkering with, because even in I've probably played for 30 hours maybe, and I still wouldn't consider myself to be well versed in the game, and a lot of it is fighting with that sort of stuff. Like when one of the games I played, I was moving troops into mainland in Italy. For whatever reason, wouldn't work. I finally got it, but I'm not even sure how exactly I was able to get them to go over there.
Yeah. It's like sometimes, because what you do is you have to set up a battle plan.
Yep.
I think it's called.
Yeah, you create an army and you set up a battle plan for the army, and like I needed to do a naval invasion. I couldn't just transfer the troops to mainland. It had to be like a amphibious invasion. And you needed to have the transport ships, like Corey said. You need to have a battle plan, but you need to like properly assign your armies to the battle plan, and it's not very well explained.
Yeah,
confusing.
It is. It's pretty confusing, and that was the biggest hurdle for me in Hearts of Iron 4. I had a pretty good time with all the other stuff. It was nice when like the historical things actually happened and the pop-up showed like, oh, like the Germans have invaded Poland, and that stuff was really exciting. And there's a setting you can toggle to decide whether the events play out mostly as they did in World War II or whether you just want things to just happen as they would within the confines of the game. So the one I chose for this one where I was Japan was the, kind of have things go down the same path as they did in history. So I don't know if I'll play through another one. One thing I liked about the way battle works is I had all my borders set up, and it would give you an indication of your army strength versus the army you're lined up against on a front, which I thought was really helpful. Gave you a good idea. But once it came time to fight, like, I don't know, I didn't see how you could react to an invasion effectively. I had a hard time getting my air force to do what I wanted it to do.
The whole because my first game I started is Ireland, obviously. That didn't. I mean, I learned the game playing as them without being like really bothered. But that war was not going well. Like I was gonna eventually get invaded. So I learned what I needed to out of that, and I kind of stopped like partway through. The second game I started, I was China. Actually, immediately got invaded by Japan. They wiped me out. I couldn't respond fast enough. So that one was over pretty quickly. But my third one, I started playing as Greece. And my whole thing too for that was having a powerful air force, having a little bit of a navy, and then just a handful of ground troops. Like I didn't do any tanks or anything like that because of the mountainous terrain. It was a little easier for just troops to move around in there. So my whole battle plan was to have a powerful air force and just be able to defend myself when Italy came knocking. But yeah, it took me a long time because I just started producing planes as fast as I could so I could have a powerful air force, and it is very confusing on how to get them. Like it's not like in Civ where you have your airplanes, you have them bomb like direct units. It's all about like air superiority, and you can have them like aid your troops, like which is what I did when I finally got invaded by Italy. I had them aid my ground troops, but there's not really a good way of telling how much it's helping.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know it was because I was winning. I won. When I got invaded, like they had far superior numbers to me, but I had the Air Force helping me, so I was able to beat them back. So I know it was helping in that way, but like there's no real good way to get a readout on what exactly was happening.
And that was my biggest takeaway from Hearts of Iron 4 too. Is it made me appreciate so much more what Firaxis has accomplished with Civilization.
Sure.
It's incredible, and on paper I feel like I really like Grand Strategy, but Stellaris and Hearts of Iron 4, two recent entries by the Grand Strategy champion Paradox, have kind of fell flat for me.
Sure.
And maybe I don't actually like Grand Strategy. I don't know.
But you didn't like Crusader Kings too much either.
Well, I didn't give that one a fair shake. I really didn't. I probably played like an hour of it, and I was like,
it's not.
No, my brain isn't processing any of this. But I do want to revisit that one because it sounds like, and you can agree or disagree, that Crusader Kings 2 is far better than both of these games.
I think so. Yeah. I didn't play Stellaris, but I definitely like Crusader Kings 2 much more than Hearts of Iron 4. I haven't played as much Hearts of Iron 4 as I did Crusader Kings, but I mean, I played well over 200 hours of Crusader Kings, and I don't want to keep playing it because I get in that rabbit hole of playing that game.
Right.
I play nothing else, so that's why I haven't played more of it.
Yeah. So are you gonna keep going with Hearts of Iron 4 and try and get into that rabbit hole, or no?
Yeah, I think so. Because like I said, I kind of have a decent grasp on after playing my Greece campaign. I have a fairly decent grasp on how everything works. So. Yeah. Like, I kind of want to be one of the bigger powers and see how that plays out.
Well, maybe I'll let you figure everything out, and then you and I can sit down one of these nights, and you can walk me through the nuance. I don't want to sound like I'm writing this game off as a bad game. I'm not. I'm just saying, for me, it's a little impenetrable.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that a lot of people said when I read reviews, too, were that, a lot of people were comparing... because Paradox does a lot to improve their games over time. So when it first comes out, like they have things that they need to work on after listening to the community and what they want.
Yeah.
So like our Crusader Kings now is as polished as it's going to be, whereas Hearts of Iron 4, like they take community feedback to add little improvements here and there. So it's not really comparing the same thing.
Fair enough.
So we'll see. I'm sure they will make improvements on it. I know Stellaris actually just got a big update that they called. Damn it, I don't know, but it added a bunch of like diplomacy improvements.
That was much needed. That was my biggest gripe with that game.
Yeah, especially like mid-game diplomacy improvements they added.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds like the fix. It was cool. Just to finish off here, the fascist regime that took over in America after my political coup, I did a little research on afterwards, and it turns out it's a real guy. And the Wikipedia article said he was considered more of an aggravation than anything, and nobody took him seriously. The guy who started the fascist party in America. It's called the Silver Stars or something.
Uh-huh.
But he's just more of a cult that nobody took seriously.
Right.
An annoyance, I think, was the way the Wikipedia article phrased him.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things about these games too, is they do dig into that historical stuff.
That'd be a fun job.
Really, pretty deeply. So yeah, I'll go give a quick rundown of my campaign as Greece. I turned them into a democratic nation, like right off the bat too. So I went from being Greece to the Hellenic Republic, which I thought was kind of cool.
That is cool. What was Greece to start?
I think they were just like despotism, maybe.
Okay.
I think there's like led by one person. Yeah, my whole goal was to protect myself from invasion from Italy. So I built up a good air force. Oh, Germany and the Soviet Union were at war like almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The game, I started in 1936. Probably by like mid 1937, they were already fighting. So then France and the UK joined in that fight too. Italy didn't end up lasting too long either. They tried to invade me from Albania, which is north of Greece, northwest, which I repelled. I seized all of Albania and did a joint invasion of the mainland Italy with UK, and just swept up the peninsula, forcing them to capitulate. And then I went right into southern Germany. See, I had the advantage of because all the other powers had so many units. I had one army of like 15 divisions, and I kept them together. So it was like, all these divisions were spread out, and there was like, 3 or 4 divisions here fighting 3 or 4 divisions there. But I kept my 15 division army together, so that was like the spearhead, almost the blitzkrieg that would push the lines. That seemed to work pretty well. So yeah, we forced Germany to capitulate. Then I took my army to China after that to take over Japan, or to fight Japan and liberate China, and then invaded mainland China with the U.S. and did the same thing I did in Italy because of how narrow it is, and used my army to kind of break the stalemates.
Cool.
But we ended up winning the war. So I don't know. Do I get a beaten game for that?
Sure.
We won the.
Yeah,
Okay.
you beat it. You won. You were victorious.
Yeah. And the one of the cool things about this game too is after the war, like you get a certain amount of victory points based on what you did in the war. I actually had pretty good participation despite like not. I had that one army that I used to fight, and then all the rest of my stuff was for defense. So yeah, you pick out like territories from the defeated enemies that you want, and you kind of like barter with the other enemies or your other allied forces. So I ended up with like all of Turkey and parts of Italy I got to keep, and other parts of like the Middle East that I had conquered during the war.
To what end, though? Can you keep playing after the game?
Yeah, you
After
can
the
keep
war?
it as long as you want.
Really? How far does the tech tree go?
I mean, it only goes through I think 1950.
That's cool, though.
But yeah, like one of the achievements for the game is to conquer the entire world as the United Kingdom, which would take a really long time, I would think.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the complaints about the other Paradox games is they have a finite time frame.
Okay.
Crusader Kings 2 ends in the year like 1450 something or whatever. Europa Universalis also ends at a certain date. But this one you can just keep playing in perpetuity with like 1950s technology. But I'm sure mods will add like more tech after that,
Yeah. I like that. That's the way that game ends. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So if you lose, can you continue on too?
I don't know.
Unless-
I would assume so, unless unless your nation gets divided up, don't have anything left. Which there was some of those that just got divided up and were gone at that point.
Fun.
But, yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it took me probably 20 hours for that one campaign.
Wow. Yeah, mine was a good 10, I think. But I spent a lot of time on the fastest speed because I was doing pacifist stuff and just, like I said, trying to convert nations to fascism.
Yeah.
And I was also researching heavily the nuclear tech tree as Japan. I just wanted to drop a nuke.
That was one
So
thing
bad.
I did in Ireland is I couldn't make any more soldiers or anything because I didn't have enough manpower.
Yeah.
So I researched nukes, and I got a nuke, and I nuked Paris.
Yeah.
German-controlled Paris. I nuked.
That's awesome. What was the effects?
Nothing really that I could tell. But my radar wasn't good enough to be able to tell like what exactly was going. It was German-controlled Paris, so
That's hilarious. Just launch the nuke and say, "Well, I don't know what it did, but
yeah. No one could penetrate.
Here goes nothing.
not sure
Like
if it hit."
That war was not going well. So
That's fun.
Dan threw a wrench into it.
the Irish nuking the French.
Some drunk old Irish guy. It's like, oh, what does this button do?
We got nukes.
But I think Greece was the perfect nation to start as because they have a decent amount of like natural resources that you need to build things and research things, and they have a decent amount of manpower. They're kind of centrally located, so you're like near enough to enemies that you will have some land fighting and some naval fighting, and I think that was the perfect like starting location to learn the game.
Did the trade stuff bother you at all? Because when you're importing, you can import from anybody, even if they're your enemy, right?
Yeah. The only thing is it uses your civilian factories.
Right, but if I'm at like a bitter war with China, there's no penalty to me importing their goods.
You have to be careful that your supply lines don't get raided. If they have ships that they can take, they can sink your freighters and stuff and ruin your supply lines.
I'm sure there's a very compelling or very worthwhile reason that they do that, like gameplay reason that they do that, but it just seems wrong that you can import your enemy's resources.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get them. I mean, maybe at that point you're just like taking them. They're at the port and you're just taking it. You know, who knows?
Dressing up as their allies.
Yeah.
Loading up your ships.
Yep.
I don't know. It's a good game. There's a lot if you really dig into it, because like even each territory tile has effects, like combat effects, like depending on the terrain.
Weather's a factor.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. There's a lot there. A lot to chew on.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah.
As far. So, that's Hearts of Iron 4. The only other thing I've been playing is Overwatch, which it's probably been a few days since I last played it. But I was telling Eric and Corey that I started playing the weekly brawl, where your character's randomly selected every time you die.
Oh God.
I actually really like that, only because it made me play as characters I had never played as before.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun, unless you get a character that you're absolutely hot garbage with.
Who
But
was that for you?
McCree.
Oh yeah, McCree's tough.
Isn't McCree getting nerfed?
Yeah.
He did get nerfed.
So did Widowmaker.
What happened to McCree? What did they do?
What was
it?
it?
His ultimate, right?
They took away his guns.
No, I think
No,
they
he just talks in that deep voice.
Slaps.
I think they lowered Fan the Hammer damage.
Yeah.
Because he was able to take down tanks in one Fan the Hammer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
One shot, he would kill him.
I didn't like McCree because he's slow.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself liking more mobile characters a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always like get immediately killed as McCree. I would like to learn how to play him, but I was just terrible. But I ended up playing some of the characters I ended up liking were Zarya.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought I'd like Zarya, but I like her shield. She can shield herself and then send a shield to a teammate.
I'm actually watching gameplay of her right now.
Fairly simple character to play as, but I found that to be pretty effective, especially if you time the shields well. And then Tracer is another one.
Tracer's awesome.
Tracer is awesome. I actually went on a 10 kill streak. As I've only played Tracer for like maybe half an hour tops. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really like Tracer, and it's hard too because like none of these characters you have muscle memory with.
Yeah,
so you're overthinking a little bit. You know, none of it's just like reactions like I had with some of the other characters.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy with my 10 kill streak as Tracer.
Yeah, when you get into a pickle with her, just mash the rewind or blink ability until you get out of it.
Yeah, she's awesome, really awesome. I'd like to play some more as Tracer. And then I learned how to play Mercy too. Not good with Mercy. I still feel helpless, like when you're getting shot.
Yeah,
she does some good heals.
You should give Zenyatta a try, Dan.
I think I played as Zenyatta once. I don't think I lasted very long.
He's not very mobile, but he can do a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah, some of the characters I got picked to play as like 5 or 6 times, and then ones like Zenyatta, I think I played once.
Mm-hmm.
Reaper, I think I played once. It's weird.
Yeah. I really want to play Overwatch now.
I probably played Mercy like 6 or 7 times. I played Winston, who I like Winston now too, after playing him a little bit.
You once you learn him a little bit?
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing in Overwatch, just to learn all the characters. Because, you know, I played a lot of D.Va. D.Va's the character I played the most as, and got a fairly good handle on her, and same with Farah and Lucio. So
the game definitely, like, once you like learn everybody, it's definitely way better that way, or learn a lot of different characters, I should say, at least.
yeah. Apparently, Torbjorn is the cause of a lot of controversy nowadays.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
Because when people on defense, they just play 3 Torbjorns and just set up turrets, and then you just like...
it's almost impossible to break that up. It's really hard. I guess specifically on console, especially he's vilified and hated.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wonder if that's is it the reason because of the turrets?
probably. I would assume so. I didn't read the article. I think it was a Paul Tassi article about the
I have
console.
a date to play on PS4 next weekend with Jared.
Nice.
When is my invitation?
I'll let you know. Probably Saturday, if I had to guess. Next
Saturday.
Saturday, not this Saturday.
Saturday doesn't
Oh,
work.
yeah. That's fine.
Actually, no, I might be. What is that? That's July 2nd? 3rd?
Yeah, one of those.
I might be able to.
So yeah, that's my time with Overwatch.
Great game.
I spent most of the past 2 weeks playing The Witcher. So
I still have to play The Witcher.
yeah, it's good. What'd you play, Eric?
Let's see. I played 2 things other than Rocket League. I went on a bit of a shopping spree this week on the PSN sale.
Nice.
It was a damn good sale on there after E3. Probably never play most of the games I bought, but hey, they're there. Hopefully Will can get some enjoyment out of them. But I did play one of them. I played some Mortal Kombat. So I bought Mortal Kombat XL for $30. I really liked Mortal Kombat. Huh?
You bought Mortal Kombat? Did
Yes.
you tell me that?
You didn't respond to any messages for like the last month, so. But yes, I did.
Okay.
I bought Mortal Kombat. I bought Metal Gear 5. I bought Shadow Mortar Game of the Year Edition, Dragon Age Inquisition,
Wow.
and something else, I think. And I got it all for $85.
Holy crap. That's a great...
Yeah.
Those are steals.
I know. I couldn't pass it up. So anyway, the only one that I touched was Mortal Kombat XL. I had bought that for Xbox One when it came out, and I really liked it. But something else was coming out, and I traded it in towards that. And but I always knew that at some point I wanted to buy that again. So I got the XL version with all the downloadable characters because I wanted to use Jason from. He's from which movies?
Jason.
Huh?
Is it just called Jason?
No.
Jason from
Nightmare
Jason?
on Elm Street?
No, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And Alien and Predator are in there as well. So I wanted to give those a whirl. And man, that game is so fucking good. Oh, God, I love that game. Like the finishes and like I can't remember if they're called X-ray moves or whatever they're called, where the bones are crunching and like with Jason you're just hacking through people with his cleaver, and with Leatherface with the chainsaw just jamming it into people's guts. The sound effects are so good, and graphically it's fantastic. But I love that game. I'll play it every now and again just for shits and giggles. I just play it on like very easy, just so I can beat up on the computer and try as many moves as I can.
It's satisfying.
It is satisfying, and
Yeah.
I like this Mortal Kombat too. I don't know if the past ones did this, but each character has like 3 different fighting styles with different moveset, and so that's kind of cool. So you can kind of pick which ones you like. So the only other thing that I've been playing is I finally got back to Uncharted 4. So I probably put another 5 or 6 hours into that this week. So I'm on chapter 12, I believe, out of 20-ish. So I'm getting there. I probably have another 5 or 6 hours to go. I'm hoping to beat that this week at some point. So, but I'm really liking Uncharted. I mean, those games are so well made and polished, and the characters are fantastic. The worlds are. I'm liking it more than I did when I first started it. Like, it's always been good, but I wasn't like blown away by it, I guess. But I'm definitely liking it more than I did at the beginning. Could just be time when I'm playing it. That's usually the case, but just a very well-made game. And I didn't realize there was pirate stuff in it, which is
I love
great.
pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that there's a good pirate payoff towards the end of it, and that I find some booty.
Yar.
Hunting for pirate treasure, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens, but I'm really digging the pirate story and all the character interactions and the relationships with Nathan and his brother and his wife and his best friend, and this is so good. Naughty Dog nails it always.
Great
So,
game, right?
I just can't wait to see what happens.
How far are you again?
Like chapter 12.
Okay.
I'm getting there. I can't remember where I left off exactly, just because my memory's terrible, but I've got like another 5 or 6 hours, Will.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I know where you are.
Yeah. I just went through a bunch of puzzles with paintings on the walls and stuff like that. But great stuff.
What are you gonna play after that?
Doom.
Doom. That's right. Talked about that earlier.
Doom. And then probably The Witcher.
Mhm.
I think will be after that.
Yeah, because we don't have any major releases coming out until No Man's Sky in August, right? I know there's a few indies coming out, but
Yeah, Inside comes out next week,
Yep.
which is from the makers of Limbo, which I didn't actually like, but we'll see. I'll probably be tempted to purchase that, maybe give that a look.
I'm gonna get it.
But yeah, no, other than that, there's nothing for a little bit. I pulled up a release calendar so I could form my purchase list for the rest of the year to see how poor I'm going to be.
Yeah,
But
I hear you.
Star
Yeah.
Ocean comes out on the 28th.
I'm
Star
interested.
Ocean.
I wouldn't peg Eric for Star Ocean.
Star Ocean, yeah. Nor would I.
All right.
I mean,
what
I
is
would-
that? That's an RPG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to like it, but I don't.
Monster Hunter comes out on July 15th.
We Happy Few early access,
Early
is
access, yeah.
July 26th.
I Am Setsuna, July 19th.
Ooh, yeah.
These are not Eric games, though.
No, that's fine. As I just said, I have plenty to play.
Till August 9th.
What's August 9th?
No Man's
Corey?
Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Game of the year.
Deus Ex. That's August too, right?
23rd.
23rd.
Okay.
Yeah, August. What else? Is there something else in August?
Yeah, World of Warcraft Legion.
Ooh.
No, yeah, it looks like I only have really one game in July and August that I want to buy.
Mhm.
Although I see Madden sitting there, and I won't have anything else, and I'll probably just be stupid and buy it.
You should just go ahead and if you have extra money laying around, just pre-order. Put it all on a pre-order game.
Well, the thing is my wife started her job this week.
Oh, so you have now
What's that?
time.
No. Well, not necessarily, because she works 3 12-hour days.
Right.
But the more important part is we decided, just as like a treat to ourselves, we're going to split her first paycheck, so she's just giving me half of her first paycheck.
Nice.
That's going to fund my fall games.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
That's nice.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. But I also need to budget for the NX. So,
Right. I wish they would come out and say when that's coming out. It's like March. I would think.
price.
A price would be nice too. Yeah. One thing I wanted to do for No Man's Sky, because of the starting and how different plants are supposed to be, what I would like to do is when we all start No Man's Sky to maybe record the first 15 minutes or however long you can record on No Man's Sky and like put it all into a video and see how different all of our starting locations are.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll stream my first sitting with it.
Stream it, or you can do the local recording too, right?
Yeah, the share.
Yeah. Do you have a time frame on that?
I think it's 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that
It
would
might be longer on PS4. I know I think it's longer on PS4 than it is Xbox, but I'm getting it for PS4 anyway.
Okay.
Really looking forward to Open World Spore, guys.
Are you getting it, Corey?
How much is it?
60.
60.
No.
I mean, you can play mine.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
But I still would like everyone to, like I said, record their first like 15 minutes just to compare and contrast everyone's different starting location.
Yeah, take out a payday loan to buy No Man's Sky.
I don't know about
Whatever, Corey. You know what? I'm sick of your fucking pessimism about No Man's Sky.
I probably would buy it if I had money.
you. Yeah.
That's more like it.
I think the only game I bought this year was Stardew Valley. I just played.
No, you bought something else.
You bought
You up and bought something recently.
Disgaea.
Yeah, I did buy Disgaea. Why did I buy Disgaea? That was
You
only
wanted-
$10, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what
Sure.
else.
You and Dan should get a console, and you guys can split like Will and I do.
There's no reason to have a console.
Whatever. I disagree with that. That's
get
for
an-
another day.
Buy an Xbox, Corey.
I got plenty of games to play.
I keep looking at my backlog, and as it grows larger, and I'm not playing a lot of the games on my backlog, I'm like, ugh. I talked in our chat about not knowing you had a game and like kind of having a hankering and looking at sales and then realizing, oh, that game's actually in my library. I don't need to buy it.
Yep.
The problems you have to deal with, Dan. How do you get through the day?
Well, I mean, it's the humble bundles. Like,
Yeah.
necessarily make a mental note of all those games that I get as humble bundles.
You redeem all those codes right away?
The one for the games I don't have.
Really? I just
Like,
let mine sit in my library until I'm ready to play them.
No, I like to look in my library and know everything I have.
Corey, I don't know why you're complaining because Peter buys these games and you just share them with him.
I have good friends.
Yeah.
Muv is another game coming out for PC I've had my eye on for a while.
Muv-Love.
Interesting.
Sweet.
What is a
It's
Muv-Love?
supposed to have a really good story. It's an anime game.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Muv-Love.
Sounds
Sounds
awesome.
sweet.
I think it's like a visual novel, but it's supposed to be good. Interactive story. There you go.
You know what? I think I'm going to buy a Telltale game. That Batman one looks pretty sweet. Did you guys see that?
I saw some screenshots from it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pretty tight.
All right.
Nice.
We'll take a quick break.
Yes.
And we'll do our nibble bits and our weeks and then feedback. So, we'll be back in just a moment. I need to go get my coffee. Hopefully it's
I
cold.
gotta let the puppy out.
I gotta
I gotta grab
pee.
food.
Burb.
Can't leave the stream empty.
Huh?
We can't just everybody leave. All right, I'll play Keyboard Cat.
I can wait.
No, it's okay. I'll just put Keyboard Cat on.
There you go.
1 hour. Or the 10-hour remix. There we go. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Johnny, I like your concept for Madden. That sounds fun.
What's that?
So they were saying in the chat how there should be a story mode in Madden.
Uh-huh.
And Johnny's is, maybe the story is you're a patient in a mental institution who thinks you're a pro football player. You play the games normally, but every once in a while it flashes to reality where you're just running through a bunch of people while cradling a small animal you think is a football.
That's a fantastic idea.
That would be great.
That would get me to buy Madden. That's the only thing that would get me to buy Madden.
I'm really hoping for, I know it's not going to happen, but a PC NHL.
I would buy a PC NHL.
Oh,
the last one that came out is
God,
like
yeah.
NHL 07 maybe, or 08.
Why are they so averse to doing that?
I don't know. Don't know. I don't think Madden's on PC either. I think it's just FIFA and Origin. I guess I could look it up.
NHL 09.
09.
Maybe I'll buy it.
How much is it?
I don't know. I think I'd have to get on Origin.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, is Valerie still in the chat?
No results. Maybe it's not on Origin. It says it's available on PC though on their website.
Yeah, you probably have to like get it from Amazon. Maybe it's a disc install. One of those.
Valerie, if you're still in the chat, here's my dog you wanted to see.
He's cute.
He's chilling.
I like
Sweaty potty.
I like how fluffy and soft puppies are too.
Oh god, yeah.
And their breath doesn't stink like roadkill.
Oh, it smells like puppy breath. When my older dog breathes on me, I could die.
Yep.
I don't think Gimli's breath is too bad.
No, Fiona's is nasty.
It's not good, but it's not obscene. But he always gets poop in his butt fur.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's not as bad this time of the year because when he goes in the pool, it all comes off, cleans it. But
What do you think, Coop? What are you doing? He looks at me like he wants to get on the bed, but I'll put him up there and then he'll cry that he wants to get down.
that's like having kids.
Yeah. And then he just licks his wiener.
Yeah. Dogs have it made.
Don't they?
How about this idea? I start a Kickstarter for people to buy NHL 17 on PC. And there's one tier, and it's $60. And everybody sends me $60 with the promise that I will give that money to EA in exchange for Origin codes. That way, EA can gauge how many people would buy it.
Yeah.
It's like a petition, but it's people actually putting their money where their mouth is, rather than, oh, I'll sign a petition for that. But people are doing it up front, and the money is already there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Shell.
You'd probably get a few people to do it.
I think I'd get more than they'd think.
And then if EA, you would have to have the backup plan that if they didn't, you would send their money back. If they didn't,
exactly. I wouldn't just. Well, I might.
Hookers and Coke.
Hookers and Coke.
Take the money and run.
That was a Greg Proops I was listening to yesterday. And he was talking. He was in the UK, in London or something. He was talking about one thing you can always count on with a Brit is at the end of a long night of partying, you can offer a cup of tea, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I'll have one." But he's like, in America, we end the party with like a line of heroin. It's like that's how you cap the night. That's how you cap a good party night.
Yep.
Jesus.
Cup of tea.
I don't know if I'm on board.
No, I mean, absolutely not. But it's just funny. I'm sure that's what Greg Proops and his cronies might do. But
Greg Proops is into pot. I don't know if he does anything heavier than that. He probably did at one point.
oh, I'm sure he does a lot of cocaine. He talks like he does.
Yeah, he drinks a lot of vodka too.
He's got to be getting up there in years.
It's mid-50s.
What? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he drinks on stage, like just straight vodka. Ugh.
Jesus.
Oh, there's already a petition for NHL on PC.
Really?
37 signatures.
It's going places.
That was as of July of last year. Or is started in July of last year, and it's right now at 37 signatures.
It's going places. All right, I'm ready when you dudes are. Will you want to have a few more bites of food before we get started?
No, you can hit it.
Okay.
I'm not chewing anything like crunchy.
Okay. Even if you were. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 257 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in our Nibble Bits segment. I usually don't say that. It's kind of weird to come back from a break and do Nibble Bits, but we're going to do Nibble Bits, our weeks, and then we'll do feedback, and then call it an episode. And me and Corey will have our post-episode Game of Thrones
Oh
talk.
shit, that's right. No Rocket League.
Mm.
Fetch.
I mean, I guess it depends.
Nah, it's fine. I gotta get up early anyway.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't have it. Like, we're probably just gloss over episode 8, and then episode 9 was like 2 scenes, or
Yeah.
3 scenes. So there's not a ton to talk about.
Oh, there is.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there is,
Don't
but
sugarcoat it.
it's not like
Tell Eric how it's gonna be, Dan.
it's not 10 different storylines.
Dan, you're full of shit right
Tell
now.
him the truth.
We'll probably end up talking about it for an hour. I mean, we'll be
At
honest.
least you're being honest.
There you go.
All right, Nibble Bits. So I'll go first. No Man's Sky has recently concluded a years-long legal battle with Sky TV over their use of the word Sky in their name. Oh, what a world we live in. The details of the settlement have not been disclosed, but game developer Hello Games will not have to change the name of their game. Apparently, Sky TV has the word Sky trademarked.
How?
I don't know. This is in the UK. They are the same company that made Microsoft change their SkyDrive to OneDrive. So if Microsoft lost a lawsuit to these people, then Hello Games was going to lose this lawsuit. They had to settle. I don't know what what the terms were, but how do you trademark the word Sky? Sky.
Remember
Sometimes
the whole Scrolls thing?
Scrolls, Saga, there's been a bunch of them. It's ridiculous. But I think in most cases, like, those were thrown out. This one stuck. Sky is a trademark of Sky TV. The word Sky.
it's absurd. Sometimes I just don't even want to be alive in this world.
I just want to live in the woods.
Well, we're just protecting our brand. It's not serious. Well,
Nobody
then
gives a shit about your dumb brand.
why'd you file a lawsuit?
Yeah, right.
Not
It's nothing
serious.
serious. Is anybody confusing No Man's Sky with Sky Television?
Oh, I
Is
thought
anybody confusing?
I thought Sky was the publisher. I'm sorry.
No, it's Sky TV is the company.
I thought they were publishing the game.
No. It's
No, it has nothing to do with it.
it's a TV
I
company.
know. I'm joking, guys.
It's
Come
like,
on.
oh, okay, I was gonna say
Come on.
it's like
Or you
NBC.
gotta deliver it better.
Maybe I delivered it too well.
That's it.
No, because I knew exactly what you were doing.
Thanks, Will.
No
So it
problem.
was poor delivery. I was right.
Will's got college.
Yeah, that's it. Oh god.
Yeah, just stuff like that. I have no hope for humanity. There's none.
Me either.
No.
It's depressing at best.
Yeah. All right, let's end on that note.
Yep.
Anyway, Corey, go ahead. What do
I
you
don't
got?
have anything.
Nothing.
Nope.
There was no news this week.
There
No,
wasn't.
there wasn't. It was mostly like leftover E3 stuff that
Yeah.
kind of got, not announced, but like the media, the gaming media, like kind of just trickled out a few things that didn't get talked
Here's
about.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to open my gaming news app, press the week, and get the top story
Right now.
right now. Fallout 4's Contraptions Workshop DLC released. That's not. There's nothing. Nothing there. What about today? Paragon releases Chimera among its hero roster. Yeah. No news this week.
This
I
was
didn't
what I was.
tweet this, but I had one thing that I thought was worth mentioning. Still reports that people are confirming that the PlayStation Neo will be out this year,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't shown, which I'm kind of surprised. Do you think it matters if it's much less powerful than the Xbox Scorpio?
No, because the Xbox Scorpio is a year and a half from now. If we're
Yeah.
talking about the Neo, that's if it's coming out this year at the most, 5 months from now. They're not even releasing in the same time frame.
Yeah, but I see your point, but Sony's got to look at it as, okay, what's our long-term plan then, now that we know that Scorpio's a thing and they announced it and, they're planning on next year.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like, and I think that whoever it was from Sony pretty much said as much, that they're not looking at it as like a new console or a new generation. It's just a what's the word? A higher end PS4 for
Yeah.
people that want that.
Yeah.
Whereas the Xbox is kind of looking at it as like a new console.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's going to be interesting.
it will be. I agree. And the Sony stuff, I mean, everything we've heard, they haven't officially messaged that. So we've heard, like you said, it's a slightly, maybe a little bit more powerful PS4 that when they sent out the literature to developers, they insisted on saying that you will be forced to make every game for the PlayStation compatible for the old PlayStation as well. Whereas with Scorpio, it sounds like everything that's currently out will be compatible, but there's nothing holding developers back from creating something that only works on the Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio exclusive. I think too. What'll be good for the PS4 Neo is if they can do PS4 Neo PSVR bundle that doesn't include the extra processing power, because apparently it doesn't need it, because I guess the reason why they did this thing was for the PSVR and lower the cost of the PSVR for that and have a cheaper bundle.
Didn't we talk about this? So it'd have to be around like what, $600-700?
$600-700, yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess 7. If you're looking at $300 for the PSVR and $400 for the new system, $700.
Yeah.
That would probably include a controller and maybe a few games.
Camera,
already.
right?
Does it have to have it does have to have the camera, doesn't it?
I think.
Yeah,
I think
it does.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I want to say I would probably get the Xbox Scorpio. Not positive about the PS4 upgrade.
Right. Because of the
personally.
because the PS4 isn't because it's not a huge upgrade. Is that what?
But I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a jump.
Right.
And but it's weird because I play my PS4 more.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the new Xbox would be more worth the money.
Right. Get it? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. They haven't announced anything, so
it's going to depend a lot on cost too. What the Scorpio costs, because if it's $700,
fuck that.
yeah, that's too much. I don't think it will be, but You ultimately never know if it's got enough horsepower to play games natively in 4K. It's a pretty powerful machine. So, but it's also coming out, like I said, a year and a half from now. So,
True.
what are you doing, Will?
Will's showing off his dirt stash.
I'm interested to see how all this stuff plays out. It's fun to watch, that's for sure. And where the NX fits into all this, and if they can get
exactly where the NX fits in.
It's going to be its own thing, like the Wii and the Wii U, where
Weren't there some reports from people saying that people are going to be amazed by the NX? I read that somewhere.
Coming out of E3 last year, some developers saw it behind closed doors, and I think that's when that phraseology happened.
I read it recently too.
Oh, okay.
From somewhere else, but
apparently development for games is supposed to be really easy. Like if you have code for a Xbox One or PS4 game, like they should almost natively work on the NX without anything really.
You know why?
Why?
It's PC. It's Nintendo games on your PC.
Apparently, it's running on Android.
There you go. PC, phones, whatever.
I'm gonna stop gaming. These fucking PCs.
How great would it be to be playing Breath of the Wild on your PC?
No.
Game looks so good.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'd rather not play it.
You can still play it on your NX, Eric.
I'd play it on my NX.
Yeah. Which is a new Android phone.
No,
it's just an
apparently
updated Nokia N-Gage.
that was ahead of its time, Eric. That was ahead of its time.
That was its problem.
Yeah, way ahead of its time. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, but apparently, like obviously it's rumors, but it's supposedly like a highly modified version of Android. Like it's not. You wouldn't know you were playing your Nintendo on Android. That's just rumors, though.
Rumors and speculation, of which we don't count on.
They've got to say something soon, don't they?
They'll have a Nintendo Direct like in the fall to talk about it. I bet.
Nintendo.
I'm surprised they haven't revealed anything.
Yeah,
it's still a secret. It hasn't even leaked.
How is it not leaked?
Nintendo plays it close to the vest.
People must be terrified that they're going to get fired if they say anything.
Sure. Oh, sure.
Well, yeah, Nintendo keeps a tight ship.
No,
okay.
Whatever.
Anything else?
Will?
Got nibble bits.
You got some nibble bits?
I mean, they're going to be quick. Blizzard got rid of the avoid this player feature in Overwatch. I guess one of the better Widowmaker players in the game complained to Blizzard about having long wait times, so they looked into it and saw like hundreds of people had clicked the avoid player option with him. Yeah, so they didn't have to play him again because he was too good, and they said that's not what they wanted. They kind of wanted it for like being toxic.
You shouldn't avoid a player just because they're good.
Exactly.
Unless they thought he was cheap.
I don't know. I don't hate that. But of course, I don't. I just want to have the easiest possible time when I play games. That's why I don't like Overwatch.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not fair to a good player to have really long wait times because no one wants to play against him.
That's true, but
really,
I also don't want to play him.
Once ranked comes out, it'll be a lot easier to match, similar skill level players.
Yeah.
When is that coming out?
Supposedly the end of this month.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So
can't wait.
Shut up, Corey.
Good. Then Corey and I can just play quick match.
Quick match.
Yeah.
Feel better about ourselves.
And my last one is 2 Overwatch pros quit in shame as Korean teen pretty much destroyed them.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you saw that story.
Actions per minute.
But a 17-year-old Korean girl destroyed the other team so badly that 2 pros in Korea said that they're going to quit playing if she wasn't hacking. And they found out and proved that she wasn't hacking, so they quit.
It's awesome.
Which is hilarious.
That's great.
Pair of scrubs.
I'm glad they stood by that. Like that's the good part of the story.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm shocked that they stuck with it. And I was
Yeah.
watching the video when you guys were talking about Hearts of Iron, and she was destroying them. It was unbelievable. She just like didn't die.
What
Awesome.
what character was she?
She was playing Zarya.
Oh, okay.
So when you
Yeah,
when
'cause
you brought up that you liked her, I was actually watching her gameplay.
Yeah. Because right before it came out, there was videos from the beta of Korean players playing, and one of them was Widowmaker,
Mm-hmm.
and just shooting people like bang bang bang, had like just wiping out people without them even knowing what was going on. I'm like, oh my god,
I
How
can't
about-
even
how about
think
that
fast
person?
enough
no,
to be that good. I don't know.
I'm too much of an old fart for one thing.
Yeah, you guys are old.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not old yet. I got a few more months.
I need
Yeah,
to
Corey's not old yet.
I need to
How
be
old
put
are
out
you?
to pasture.
How old
Huh?
are you, Corey?
I'm 29.
You're almost 30.
Isn't that weird?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking weird as shit.
Old.
I still thought you were 26 or something.
Well, when you hit 30, I'm calling it quits.
you guys said that when I graduated.
well,
I'm
high
that's-
school.
turning in.
we got to start cycling, guys. We got to start making some money so we can be the business managers and we can get some young bucks in here to run the show.
No,
Keep it fresh.
our show wouldn't appeal to, or at least not in the current state. Doesn't necessarily appeal to the young bucks.
That's
Or
true.
anyone.
That's true.
Well, no, we're kind of generalist
Yeah.
gamers. You know? Jack of all
Um,
trades, master of none.
Eric, you should take that back. We had 10 people in the chat like a couple minutes ago.
Comment rescinded. It appealed to at least 10 people,
Temporarily.
which are us.
Which 3 of them are us, so.
Wilts, quit revealing the secret. I saw they're cracking down on viewer bots, though.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't like artificially inflated.
Oh my god. You can always tell too. You go in somebody's game and they have like 700 viewers and there's like 3 people chatting. Come on.
Yeah. No, my
And
gaming.
Jake says you've been cooking up the new host. You got a whole family ready to take over.
Yeah, I'm breeding new hosts as we speak.
Dan's ensuring his line is carried on.
House Mirtha.
Absolutely.
House Mirtha.
Yeah, I mean, my gaming is like kind of similar to the way I am personally. Like, I never put in enough time into one thing to get really good at it. I just kind of play a little bit of everything. Just like in real life, I do a little bit of
I
everything.
was just gonna say, story of my life.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm pretty good at everything I do.
jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, but what are you
Not
really
growing
good
a
at, Will?
mustache.
Well, that's different. That's manhood. Talking video games.
What are you really good at, though? What are you a master of?
Overwatch, Valkyria Chronicles, Ratchet and Clank,
That's a stretch.
Call of Duty.
You're good at making your mic nice and windy.
If you want to buy me a new mic, that's all right.
All you need is a pop filter.
Did you price a foam
$2.
ball?
Well, I looked at him and it was
Price it
like
out.
a full-size microphone.
Yeah, just do headset mic, foam ball.
I did, Dan, and the same thing came up.
As I said, I know I have something like that floating around down here.
Corey,
Will, you can get a 5-pack for $4.59.
Corey, send me one. Buy me one.
Gift it to him.
This one's $3.
Christmas.
This one's $2.65.
Will, do you have any more nibble bits?
No.
Okay. How's your week, Will?
Good, I did nothing. Really worth mentioning, at least, I should say.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, Corey, what do you got?
I saw the Warcraft movie.
Oh, that's right.
I wanted to talk about it last week, but we didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that I lowered my expectations to the floor.
Mhm.
And I was fully prepared to find all the good in the Warcraft movie and come on here and tell you guys what's great about it.
Nothing.
It's one of those movies that I feel like will age well. This is me searching for the good.
Cult following.
Cult following.
Years later.
It's a really good mindless fantasy movie. But not like you're not gonna go like I did, go to the movie theater expecting to see like classic cinema. It's like I said, mindless. It's one of those movies you're gonna put on when you're really sick and can't do anything else, and just have it on for ambiance.
Or it'll be on USA.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like just be flipping through channels like, hey, Warcraft movie, and you'll watch it. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
And people walk in and they're like, "What are you watching?" Like, I don't know. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." And you're like, "Yeah, I know." Yeah, that's gonna be the legacy of the Warcraft movie.
Warcraft in a nutshell.
There was some nice homages to the video game fans. I don't know Warcraft that well. I played the strategy games and I play Hearthstone, so I was looking at it through that lens. And there's a part I don't know if how much I talked about, but there's a part where all the characters are crossing a bridge and there's like a murloc in the creek under the bridge and just looks up and goes like makes that sound effect that murlocs make.
Uh-huh.
And like Hearthstone especially, that's how I know that sound effect. I'm sure they make it in Warcraft as well, but like that jumped out at me, and as my cousin Chris, who has been on this podcast, we went to see it together and we both burst out laughing at that part. But then there was another part where the camera zoomed way up and was like an overhead shot of, forget the name of the area that they're in, but it was like panning from little area to little area where there were all these skirmishes going on and like people building things, and it
looked like the old Warcraft
the
games.
old Warcraft games, which I thought was really cool. Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna do that.
It was a really nice touch, and it's some of the acting is so bad, the writing is bad. It's Duncan Jones, who I saw Moon was I think his first movie, if not his first, his like first big movie that was all his, which was really good.
Is that the one with
Sam Rockwell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. It was good.
Yeah, this is nothing like that. I couldn't find anything in Warcraft that showed the sign of Duncan Jones's craft. It's just a epic, dumb fantasy movie. That's about the nicest thing I can say about it.
Huh.
I couldn't keep track of the orcs.
Was Thrall in it?
No Thrall. I kept expecting to see Thrall. There was what's his name? The warlock.
Gul'dan
played a big role. Anduin. I think Anduin was in it.
Sylvanas.
No.
Uther.
Who's the alternate mage?
Kael'thas?
No.
Chromie.
No.
Jaina.
Not Jaina, the alternate skin in Hearthstone.
I have no idea.
He's in it. I can't think of his name.
Medivh?
Medivh. Thank you, Will.
I got you.
I feel like if I knew Warcraft really well, these little things would stand out to me more. But I guess they're going to do more movies, and I kind of hope they do. I just kind of hope they focus in on something rather than making it this big, epic movie about the war between humans and orcs. I don't know.
I mean, in theory, the movie sounds like it could be awesome.
It's bad. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, could you imagine somebody like Roger Ebert going in, sitting down and watching the Warcraft movie and just being like, what is this? It's not for him.
But
I get
no,
that.
I was gonna say.
But I feel that it's you as a movie critic, you can't judge a movie based on whether it's for you or not. You have to judge it objectively because that's your job. And I feel the same way about video games. And you can say, like, this movie's not for me. I'm sure people who know Warcraft will appreciate it a lot more. But I think that's part of your job to say that. And it's like, every work of art should stand on its own. It doesn't have to. But if you want the mass appeal and appreciation, then it should. And I think you can make a Warcraft movie that appeals to everybody. I'm not saying it's a requirement.
But it's also a good film.
But you can do that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know. It was okay.
I don't like a bunch of video games are making movies now.
Hey, man, it broke records in China.
You know?
Didn't do too well here, but I forget the article. The article headline, like, Warcraft is doing terrible in America, but they don't care. Like, they've made their money internationally.
Yeah.
A lot. So.
Huh.
Whatever.
I wonder how the Assassin's Creed movie will be.
That didn't look very good either.
You're right.
Snippets I saw. Too much modern day stuff. Isn't it supposed to be like 70% modern day and 30% historical?
I think I heard that, yeah.
Who knows?
That
That was always the worst part of the Assassin's Creed games.
Well, you
For
got
me.
that right.
Aside from the shitty controls.
Abstergo.
Yeah.
God, I used to get so mad when those parts would pop up.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Corey?
Nah.
Nothing. What do you got, Eric?
Let's see. Well, I watched the United States of America soccer team against Argentina last night in the Copa America tournament.
Close game, right?
Well, here's the thing. Argentina is currently ranked the number 1 team in the world, and me personally, I don't think I would rate them as the number 1 team in the world, but they're definitely a top 5 team. And we were without 3 of our starters due to red cards and yellow card accumulation. So, right off the bat, I mean, kind of fucked right there. But they played so poorly. And, I mean, if you're playing that poorly against a team like Argentina, you're just going to get your ass kicked. And that's exactly what happened. So, they lost 4-0.
4-0.
And Messi scored a ridiculous free kick that not very many people on earth could do. He couldn't have put it in a better spot. So, I mean, they just got torn up. They look like a bunch of high schoolers out there, if that. Couldn't put a couple passes together. It was brutal. Terrible watch. But, they made it pretty far in the tournament. I certainly didn't expect them to beat Argentina. Let's see. Other than that, went to a new restaurant this week. We went out for brunch on Father's Day, just because we had the day off together, and had some steak and eggs at a new restaurant we'd never been to. That was fun. That's really about it. I don't think I really did too much else. Took the new dog out on the town, showed him off. That was fun. We were getting stopped every 2 feet by people.
Yep.
And it was good, though, because, he was tired as shit by the end of the day.
Yeah.
He just came home and passed out, but he's been really fun. He found a dog that he really likes that goes to the dog park, so whenever we see that dog up there, we try to take him up there, and he runs around and plays and gets beat up a little bit.
Nice.
So
Good for him.
yeah, absolutely. But that's really all I've got going on. The wife started her job, so should have a little more game time coming up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. As for me, the only thing I really have to talk about other than Game of Thrones is my son finished his school year, so he's on his summer vacation. But it also kind of feels like my summer vacation. I wonder if that's going to be a trend that continues throughout their school.
Wouldn't it feel like the opposite?
No, because part of the difficulty of the day was spending the morning, because he was an afternoon pre-K, so spending the morning sandwiching in breakfast, snack, and lunch, and also getting him ready to go. That was my entire morning, every single school day. So I don't have that now.
So now you can just skip breakfast and lunch and just feed him dinner.
Just feed him dinner, yeah. No, but I can space things out a little bit easier. Like I can actually accomplish things in the house, which is also nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of feels like my summer vacation too.
Is he old enough to really appreciate summer vacation?
He was actually a little sad to be done with school.
Aw.
He's not now, but once he figured out that summer was the time to swim and stuff, he would rather do that obviously than be in school. So yeah, so we've done that.
Well, I saw his graduation certificate. That photo of him holding his graduation certificate is priceless.
Yeah, graduation was adorable. It was adorable.
These just little people, like their first academic achievements.
Yep. And like
Nice.
I told my wife, because he's my son, every grade is going to be an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because I was one god-awful student in my day. God-awful.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't even get the pre-K academic achievement, so I have nothing to show for.
You didn't go to pre-K.
Nope.
right?
Me neither.
I went to preschool. I don't remember it. But I remember kindergarten like it was yesterday and how much I hated it. All the way up until graduation.
I don't remember hating school until 6th, 7th grade. Probably.
Okay.
I did
That's
all
when
right until then.
That's when I started to be bad at school. I hated school from the moment I walked in kindergarten.
Okay.
Well, that's when I started giving homework, and you're like, I don't need to do this.
I never did.
Yeah. No, God, no.
Me and Eric were in the same boat.
Oh,
We just kind of sat there at school.
we just floated our way through.
Yep.
And here we are,
Here we are.
still floating our way through.
No, you're on a global video game podcast,
It's true.
international renowned.
Lame. Yeah, it is true. All right. Feedback.
Wait,
What?
2 things.
Okay.
The Hotline Miami 2 level editor is out of beta and is now live.
Cool.
So there
Sweet.
is a nibble bit. But also what we didn't play.
Oh yeah. I forgot
Always
about
forget about that.
that too.
I usually forget about it too. That's why we've been doing it every other week.
like it.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Sharp. I don't know. One of those weird
Yep.
Japanese RPGs. I guess
For Wii U.
it's pretty good,
It's reviewed well.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it.
but none of us played it. I have given up on purchasing games for Wii U just because
Today's the first time I've heard of that.
of the Wii U. Yeah, it's not very popular.
Shit. What a zinger.
Zing! Mighty Number 9, a big release that is just not great. 5s
Hot
and 6s. Major letdown, especially for all the people who kickstarted it, couldn't wait to play it, and there's all sorts of issues with that.
Did you hear what one of the developers said?
What?
It's better than nothing.
That's what you don't
Why
want to
you
say.
go fuck yourself?
He'll be finding himself in the same place as the guy that said deal with it from Microsoft.
Exactly, yeah. In the shit can.
Yeah. Not
Yeah,
smart.
I don't know how like the game it's kind of like simplistic.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how you screw that up that badly. I just don't.
I don't know, Dan. It sounds like they didn't find the fun.
They didn't find the fun, and it looks a lot different than what they advertised too, apparently. Art style wise.
Huh.
Yep.
Yet another warning against contributing to a Kickstarter. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Unless it's my NHL to PC Kickstarter.
Right.
Chel
But
17.
that one, if it doesn't work out, you get your money back.
Yes, maybe.
So that's right. We determined it was a maybe. Okay.
I'll put that at the very end. If it doesn't work out, you'll get your money back. ... Maybe.
Unless Corey went to town on hookers and coke.
If I put that right in the Kickstarter, do you think people would be okay with it?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sure some
Probably.
people would be okay with it.
All right.
Corey,
I
you ever
might
hear an
toss some
update?
money your way for that.
What?
Just for your honesty.
You ever got an update on that Unsung Story game that we backed or whatever?
Not in a while.
Yeah.
What other
Cool.
Kickstarter? Oh, I backed that that JRPG, that language learning JRPG. I can't think of the name of it now. I still get updates from them every now and again.
So development's going well for them.
I backed Team Tile. I did get my tiles. Never used them because I heard they sucked. So, there's that. Other game that we didn't play, Kirby Planet Robot. Another allegedly good Wii U game. Kirby game.
Yeah, I'm not buying any more
Yeah.
games for the Wii U.
It's tough. It's a tough sell at this point, but apparently
Yeah.
those 2 games are pretty good. So I don't know.
With the new system coming out, as long as everything's backwards compatible, I'll be trading my Wii U in towards the NX. I just hope it's backwards. I don't see why they wouldn't do backwards compatibility, but
Yeah, they will. It's Nintendo.
they better. They've done it since GameCube. So
Yeah.
okay.
That's it for what we didn't play. There's obviously other releases, but those are the only big ones.
Right. Okay. Feedback. Idaho Jake says, Idaho Jake here for E3. I think the most exciting things for me was Horizon gameplay and South Park. Both games look fucking awesome. So I pre-ordered Fractured Butthole just so I could get Stick of Truth, and I've been playing it for the last 2 days. This is the second time I've played it, and it is just as good as before. I also downloaded the Resident Evil demo and the Lego Star Wars demo, but I haven't played them yet. I didn't get blown away at any time, but I did like a lot of what I saw. And yes, I will be buying Skyrim again. I saw The Conjuring 2, and I really liked it. I would like to know what Corey thought about Adventure Zone podcast. Now for the Idaho Jake question. I hate to bring up religion, but what is the hardest game you have ever played? Today I started my vacation, so I took my family to the Boise Zoo and Dave & Buster's. Wednesdays and D&B's is half-priced games, and I played 4 games that were pretty damn awesome. First, I played Star Wars, and it was like a IMAX screen, and you fly an X-Wing. The next one was a jet fighting game that is the same as the Star Wars game. After that was a 3D zombie shooter, which when your hands are on the gun, it will test your heart rate and tell you if you are calm or panicking. And the last one I played was 4-player air hockey that I wrecked my family at. I haven't really played any other video games, but now that I have vacation, I'm going to wreck my backlog. Now for the next Idaho Jake. Oh, I see. This is his feedback from last week.
2 emails. Yep.
Okay. Now for the next Idaho Jake question. What was your favorite arcade game? Thanks, guys, and get out of my email. So the first one, hardest game you have ever played.
Hardest game?
Yeah.
It was probably something on NES that I don't know.
I'm going to go with the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Because I have yet to this day been able to beat it. I haven't played it that much recently, but it's one of those games, like the old games where you could just fail and not be able to advance. You run out of lives and you have to start all over at the beginning. So
yeah, I'll go with that.
That's probably mine. Corey?
I don't know. Probably an NES game. Those games were hard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of games I didn't even beat the first level in. The original Mario was pretty hard.
Damn it, Corey.
What?
Did you not listen to me and Eric?
You basically took exactly what Eric and Dan said.
Do I ever listen?
Were you not listening, or are you making fun
I
of
was
us?
chatting in the chat.
Oh, so you weren't listening.
Yeah. We're talking about the availability, what type of male females are in your area. There's this whole thing. You wouldn't get it.
No. I'm too old.
That's really funny. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I didn't know if you were making fun of us.
I
No.
couldn't either.
That's what I thought.
No. I wish I was that clever. Recently, Salt and Sanctuary I had a hard time with, but that's because I picked a chef.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would have to go back to the games where you could fail and have to start all over at the beginning. Like anything recent, even like the Dark Souls games, you still, you don't lose any progress when you die. Like maybe a little bit of progress, but you still advance to a point, and they're hard, but not unbeatable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got.
What about you, Will?
I'm gonna go back to an earlier comment. I'm pretty naturally good at every video game,
Okay.
so I don't struggle very often.
You know what you're not good at is being in frame. You
Fucking
jamoke.
terrible at that.
Will Irish goodbye. Next Idaho Jake question: what is your favorite arcade game?
Oh shoot, that's a good question.
There's only 2 that I really played a lot of. One was the Mortal Kombat, because we played at when our mom used to, what was it, Wednesday night, would go bowling, and sometimes she would take us and we would play the arcades. She knew the owner, so he would get out his keys and give us a bunch of credits to play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I remember those
Played that
days.
for a And then Cruising USA.
Yeah. At the
Remember-
bowling alley.
Yeah, at the bowling alley near us.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites too.
That was
Those are the only ones I really spent any amount of time with.
That Simpsons one. You remember that Simpsons arcade game?
That's
What
right.
the heck was that?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Also, Pac-Man and Frogger at the pizza joint in Endwell.
Yeah. Those were old machines. I wonder whatever happened to those.
They were still there right up until the place closed.
Yeah,
Pretty sure. And they still worked.
I think so, yeah.
And that was a good 15-year span they were there.
Yep.
If not longer. Probably closer to 20 years.
Yeah. What about you, Eric?
My favorite arcade game. I was always a big fan of Wave Race,
Uh-huh.
whether it be on Nintendo 64 or at the arcade. And there was a Michael Jackson arcade cabinet that I used to love playing at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know what the name of the game. I know we've discussed it on here before.
Uh-huh.
Let me look really quick.
That Michael Jackson one?
Yeah.
We did discuss it.
Yeah.
Speaking
See
of,
Oh.
did you guys hear the Michael Jackson news today?
No.
I heard it a couple days ago.
Mountains of child abuse porn were found at the Neverland Ranch.
Shocking.
Yeah.
You said child. Oh, it's not funny. Jesus Christ.
Abusive.
Abusive child porn.
I think
Ugh.
that was am I correct, Dan?
Yeah.
The phraseology?
Yep.
Not
No,
cool.
my reaction was exactly what Eric's was. Oh, that's shocking.
Yeah. Literally nobody is surprised.
Michael Jackson's estate blasts new pornography reports as sheriff and former prosecutor weigh in. So it sounds like there's some controversy, but of course there would be.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I never got into arcade games because I never liked to play with people I didn't know. You know?
Corey, can you get some gameplay up of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, please? That's the name
that
of
what-
the arcade cabinet.
Walker.
I loved it. Like, you could kill people with your dance moves.
That seems like a game that needs to be remastered.
Oh
This
my
isn't
god.
it.
This is not the one.
Here it is. Teens react.
To Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Yeah, I mean, I just remember every time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, like I just loved it. So good.
I don't know that I ever went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid.
Well, then you didn't get to play Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Dan.
No. Even as a kid, I didn't like to be around other people.
Yeah.
Look at him throwing kicks out there.
Yeah. On the pool table.
Oh god.
Uh,
It's fantastic.
yeah.
I'd buy that game.
Has he got a monkey? Is that a monkey that's on him?
Monkey.
It's like on his shoulders.
I don't know. I'm watching on a delay, so
Oh, okay.
It needs a remaster, right?
I like how they have
Oh,
the kids
absolutely.
wearing the sparkly glove while they play.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing.
That's a nice touch.
Corey, Jake wants to know about Adventure Zone.
Yeah. I listened to one episode. I liked it. It was funny.
What's Adventure Zone?
It's a podcast of the I don't know what RPG they're playing. D&D maybe? But it reminded me of our old playing days because the episode I listened to it had
Making fun of the game master.
yeah, I don't know the background. But one of the guys kept saying dad, so he's playing his dad is part of the group, which I liked immediately. I'm like that's cool. But it sounded to me like the GM had created this character that the players didn't particularly care for. So the players had him killed off, and the GM was trying to find ways to make the players feel bad about that. I don't know. It's just funny stuff.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
I miss those days.
Yeah, right?
That's why you need to start having kids. Then you can raise them to be D&D players like I'm probably going to.
You can make them
No.
play D&D.
Make them
Yeah.
play adventures.
Make them GM for you.
Oh, I would prefer that.
There you go.
I would prefer to play.
Make them do the hard work.
because I'm most likely looking at 3 boys, so
Yeah.
that's a
Get
small
the most creative one to just come up with a brilliant quest, and the rest of the family can play through it.
If it was Max's choice, it would be involving dinosaurs.
Likes the dinos.
Loves dinosaurs.
Maybe
Kids and
he'll like
dinosaurs.
No Man's Sky, Dan.
Maybe.
Oh, and they spent. I just went to their webpage to remind myself what had happened. They spent a good amount of time dressing themselves for summer fashion.
What?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
Adventure Zone.
Oh, okay. I'm still watching this Michael Jackson video. I can't believe you guys aren't as enthralled as I am.
I can't see it.
Did
Otherwise-
you guys didn't see him do the spin move where he takes his hat off and whips it at people like Raiden?
No.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
That's one thing I would love to do. Is more actual role playing, tabletop. I just remember right before we started the podcast, we had the D&D adventure going.
Yeah, we did.
That was awesome.
How many did we do? Sessions.
Half
4?
of one, probably.
No, I think we did 4 or 5, maybe 3.
I was gonna guess 1.
No, we did a few. We did it
Summer
once a week.
shorts.
I think we did it once a week for like a month, maybe.
Oh, good for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's tools that make that easy to do online now.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
I could probably make that happen now because Christy's schedule's written 6 weeks ahead.
Should we hire a DM?
Why would we hire one? We have one.
The Double G?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'd do it.
My wife's most hated enemy.
Is that right?
Yeah,
So-
I told you about that, right?
Oh yeah. In school, yeah. That's funny.
The funniest part is none of us were surprised about that.
I was a little bit surprised. For a little, what's the word?
That he raised his hand and would answer all the questions.
If you're looking for context to this, if you're listening, Graham is a friend of ours from high school. He was on a very early episode called The Man, the Myth, the Legend.
Yeah.
And after not really being in touch with him after all these years very often, I was at my wife's college graduation, and sure as shit, Graham was also graduating with the same degree as my wife. So it was really funny, and it turns out she's not his biggest fan. And she had come home and complained to me about him numerous times without giving me a name. My mom wasn't surprised, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's so good.
She goes, Graham? Oh, yeah, I couldn't stand that kid.
That's like Seinfeld stuff.
It really, I couldn't believe it when I heard it. And I had just got done telling her family about Graham in the car ride on the way there.
Sure enough, there he is.
God. Amazing.
Okay. Feedback from Tito in LA says, forgot to mention this a while back, but I beat Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Very
Well done.
nice.
Unless I already mentioned it, but I also beat Uncharted 4 a few weeks ago. There's a moment in Uncharted near the end of the game around chapter 18 or 19. Do you want me to spoil this, Eric?
Doesn't matter, I already read it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you are the feedback compiler. Chapter 18 or 19, when you reach the final destination in a Jeep with Elena. Well, this isn't really a spoiler, I guess. And it was so beautiful, and the music was so great that I teared up. I had a lot of good memories with Uncharted, and I loved a lot of the characters. It was a cool moment that Naughty Dog hit the feels, especially between Nate and Elena. Those two were some great games, and I loved the length of Rise of the Tomb Raider. It gave me plenty of time to enjoy my adventures with Lara Croft. Season 3 of Rocket League started a couple days ago with a lot of new features, including wiped rankings for everyone, so starting from scratch. I went from Rising Star to being ranked Prospect Challenger,
Yeah.
being demoted to Prospect 3 after a few more games. Man, oh man, was that rough.
Oh, so I don't feel that bad now.
That's all I can think of right now. Bye. So thanks, Jake and Tito.
Didn't Jake send us 2, or did you read them both?
He
I read
them
'em.
both. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I'm behind the 8 ball.
Sorry.
Okay. So next week's topic, we are going to be covering the Steam Summer Sale.
Buyer's guide, if you
Buyer's
will.
guide. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll pick out a handful of games. Tell you why you should have them in your Steam library, or if someone if PSN or Xbox Live are having a sale too, we'll cover those a little bit too. Let you know.
I think we ought to do just PC. We don't do that very often.
Yeah, we can do that.
Even though I hate you guys and your PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll cover the Steam summer sale. Like you said, recommendations guide for good sales and whatnot.
Before we conclude,
Yeah.
Will left us, but I wanted to share the Stiff and Gone sideshow, with which, if you didn't hear our first episode, it's on YouTube. We're going to be doing our second one on Friday evening, and Will has agreed to this. He's going to watch the first episode of Game of Thrones, and we're going to talk about it, and Dan's going to join us. So check that out. I don't think Will's ever watched before.
No.
No, I don't think he has.
So I gave him my HBO Now login, and he's gonna watch, and we're gonna chat about it. So
Do you have any idea how bad I don't want him to like that show? I don't want to be the only one.
you're not the only one. A lot of people don't like it.
In my group of friends, which is you three, I am the only one.
Yeah, well, you could probably. I think you can count on Will not to like it.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Even if deep down inside he does kind of like it, he would never admit that he liked it. I think.
You don't think so?
You're safe. No. I think
Oh.
Will likes to be contrarian at times. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He can be a contrarian.
You cut out, Eric.
You're cutting out, Eric.
I said either way, he could be a contrarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's against,
Well, that's the thing. I think Dan's right. He might really like it, and he might privately watch all of it and love it, but
And
publicly,
never let us know.
publicly, he hates
I'm
it.
fine with that. I'm fine with that as long as I never know about it.
Yeah. Will is the new Corey.
No, our dad's watched it and doesn't like it. Mom watched a little bit, and then once they killed the wolf at the beginning, she's like, I can't watch this.
Done.
That's what did it for me too. The
There
first
was
time. I go,
you'd be
"Fuck
surprised.
this."
You'd be surprised. That's a fair amount of people that I've read on like message boards are like, yeah, I watched it with my wife or I watched it with my girlfriend, and they had no problem with the events of the beginning of the first episode. I won't spoil that for people who haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was a struggle for me as well.
It involves a child, but once they killed the wolf, that was it.
Yeah, I was not having that. I go, you know what? I don't need this in my life.
Yeah,
I don't need that.
it was so cute, you know.
Yeah. Poor dog.
But anyway, yeah, and then after the outro, me and Corey are gonna get caught up on episodes 8 and 9 of Game of Thrones.
Indeed.
Our recap. So, any other thoughts, questions, comments?
No, I don't. I think I'm all set, Dan. Looking forward to hopefully finishing Uncharted 4 this week.
Nice.
Yes.
I'd like to say I'd finish The Witcher, but that's just not going to happen. I probably have another 50 hours left in my second playthrough.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
I should be hitting my backlog now.
Corey, what are you playing this week?
Rocket League. Hearthstone.
Who can blame a guy? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I am still playing SimCity.
Nice. Proud
Still
of you.
going strong on SimCity Build It.
I'm going to give it a shot, Eric.
You're going to hate it.
Will I hate it?
Oh, yeah. You should try it anyway, but you're going to hate it.
Because I like SimCity. I like the city building stuff.
You just need to have patience.
Okay. It's a slow
It's a very
slow
slow
build.
burn. Yeah. Not at first, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your time when you're building your city is what I would say. Don't
Oh,
it's going to seem like you have a lot of money, but don't blow your money.
all right. Yeah, because I want to have something on my mobile phone to
I
play
love it.
once in a while.
It's great
you know?
too because it's literally the only game, I guess you could call it game, that my wife and I have ever been able to discuss.
Uh-huh.
And I ask her for tips
Nice.
because she's played it more than I have. Although, don't worry, I caught her in level. I wasn't about to be out leveled.
Right. No. Okay. Yeah. So that'll do it for episode 257 of the Thumbstick Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and out of my basement.